So you all are gonna get something a little different tonight. I don't normally have anything on this screen. I just leave it as the starting soon screen, fade out the music, go to the intro, go live. But my guest tonight has requested to do something a little bit silly, a little bit different. So against my, or perhaps because of my better judgment, we will find out which is which. I'm going to leave my dear guest Dee to her own devices for a few minutes while I step away. Give me just a moment. And Dee, you are now unmuted. So, oh, wait. Now you're unmuted. There we go. Yes. Haha, because I had the...
My own
Yes.
devices?
Your own devices, indeed. So
Okay.
I will be back in a few minutes. Don't get me banned, and that's really all I ask. Okay.
Well, hello there, champ. How's it going? You having a good day?
And it was today of all days that he realized what a horrible mistake he had made.
Oh, I'm in your head now. Can you hear me? Calling in the air tonight? Once upon a time, on a cute little talk show, there was a Dee, a strange little creature, the likes of which the internet did not understand, but the lovely little microphone decided, oh wow, I think I'll give her an opportunity to hopefully not be sus. However, she was in fact sus.
What about why did he... Oh no. I remember you waiting out there in front of me.
Okay, I'm back and we're not banned. That's a good start. However, I did hear...
The other day had built up just this specific day could happen.
I think we're having a little bit of issue with the filter you put on because there had been some background noise and like some of your singing, the reverb was getting squashed, it sounds like.
I can barely hear you.
Oh,
So quiet.
why is it quiet? Why am I quiet? Why am I quiet? I should not
Is
be
there
quiet.
a limit and or a compressor on your Discord?
It shouldn't be on mine. It sounded like that's what was on yours, actually.
Why can't I hear you anymore?
Why can't you?
Okay, I'll turn off the shenanigans.
Because the soundboard worked. We tested the soundboard with the filter when you went live, but we're going to have background music anyways, so actually just turn off that filter because I want you to be able to be left to your own devices and do all the reverb and stuff. I would rather have a little bit of the background fan and still be able to do all the shenanigans. So let's get things more properly started in the meantime. Well, we're gonna do it live, folks, so
Hear the
give me a
voices.
minute just for formalities.
We
I'm gonna
sound
play
fine
the
to you
intro.
guys? Okay.
And we'll be right back.
After these messages.
Live from twitch.tv, it's Vtuber Talk. Tonight's guest is Dee the Sphinx. And now, deeply disoriented, here's your host, Jay. All right, let's see if everything is here now. I'm here. Dee, are you here? Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Hello?
Where is Dee?
Where is Dee? Where is Dee? I see Dee. Oh my gosh.
You see Dee?
I see Dee. ABCD?
You see Dee's nuts.
Dee still... Good night, everybody. Dee's still getting filtered out? Okay, yeah, the yelling's getting hit by a filter.
I'm getting filtered?
I think that's a Discord thing. Open Discord on your end. I'm pretty sure I know how to fix this.
I'm too loud.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
Dee was so very kind and rated in directly from her stream, so we weren't able to do offline sound check, and even when we did it on studio mode, it all worked, but as goes with tech, sometimes things change. All right, yeah. Now I'm hearing the background noise again, but that should also mean that you're not getting limited anymore.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
hate the sound of my fan, cuties?
That's texture, literally.
Here, I'll just turn up my input sensitivity a little shmidgamagoo.
No, but there, yeah.
You cannot hear the fan? It might just be you, but if it bothers
Okay, maybe
you
it's
that
no,
much, I
no,
will
no, no.
kick
I'm
it in
fine
the
with it.
face.
It actually makes me feel a lot better knowing that the audience can't hear it. Because if memory serves, you actually had the same thing. Because you were mentioning that you were hearing voices during your stream, and that everyone else was saying
I
that it was
do.
fine. So, audio's weird, man. But
Well,
oh my goodness.
sometimes my little audio interface freaks out.
Mm,
And if it freaks out, then I will hear double. I usually don't mention it unless it happens right before I want to do something fun, like singing on stream. And because it happened today, well, I mentioned it. The Focusrite needs a replacement. It's
oh
time
no.
to upgrade. Technologia!
Technology.
This is just part. It's part of the trade. Making
Yes,
sure that all your stuff is
indeed.
updated as best as you can when you can.
Mm-hmm. Well, first off, hello everyone, and welcome to VTuber Talk. I am your host, Jay. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. For those of you who haven't been here before, VTuber Talk is designed after classic late night talk shows. Everything here is live, casual, and the goal is to simply have fun conversations that will entertain people who are already familiar with the guest while still being accessible for new fans. Thank you so much for the raid, and please welcome my guest for this evening, Dee.
Howdy!
How Dee?
It's
It's Dee! And thank you for the raid as well, and let me also thank some of the folks who followed following that raid. So that would be Fangirl Fridays, Cappy OG, somebody named Dee the Sphinx. I'm probably mispronouncing that somewhere. Anyways, Fi Charm Quark, Emtress, and
Thanks, the
Shy
swamp.
Guys 205. Thank you all so much for the follows, and welcome on into all the cuties. Obviously, I'm guessing that most folks in here right now are familiar with you, but for anyone who might not be, if you could introduce yourself.
They don't know me, I'm a stranger.
Nah, that's me. I'm the stranger tonight.
I'm a complete stranger on your screen. You don't know who I am. You don't know.
How
you
did
don't
you even
know
get
me.
here?
Don't
How
act
did you
like
break
you
into
know
this
me.
studio? This is a very secure studio, I will have you know.
I opened a portal.
Also, I just realized
Your
I...
security is only secure from physical intruders or digital intruders, but not from interdimensional spatial intruders.
Interdimensional.
But hi, I'm Dee the Sphinx, a once wiggly blobcat, now a giant whammon. I do music, and I do silly voices. I also teach tools and technology on YouTube, because gorgeous goddesses don't gatekeep. Yeah, that's pretty much Dee. Also, I'm a dealer hand right now. Bam.
Haha. That's actually a pretty good one.
Oh, I can break my neck, look.
Officer, I swear I didn't break her neck. She did it herself.
My neck for your sins.
Also, Tired
I did
Cyborg,
it myself.
thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in. My goodness. I have a couple places. I'm not even sure where to start. There's a lot to unpack here in a lot of different ways. First off, I've known that you've done voices.
I came in a box you have to unpack.
I do. And we're going to be unpacking that for some hours. We don't even know how long. I've known for a while that you did voice acting, that you do voices. You use your soundboard a lot, and you use filters a fair bit. But that Donald Duck didn't sound like a filter.
No, it's not. This is just a voice I can do. And now you know. Wow.
That is one of the most impressive Donald Duck impressions I've heard. Because I know a couple people that can do that. That is one of the more difficult, iconic voices to recreate. The places you have to go with your vocal cords on that are nigh unnatural. So first, very impressed because...
But it's not even in the chords.
It's
all airflow. That's just squeezing the air. Have you ever gone... It's just crunching the air between like your cheek and your tongue. And then you learn how to make it sound like a voice
by shaping the air into the center of your mouth.
I feel like this is one where I would need to see a video to I'm pretty good at doing voices and am able to imitate a fair number of things. I feel like if I were to see the actual facial structure and contortion, that I could see it. Unfortunately, we are not quite there yet with Live 2D. I think we might get there someday, but I do a couple of voices myself, and I also abuse filters a little bit. One of the ones that I think I do pretty well, given the aid of a very good filter, but it's on brand for me anyways, and it's about to become topical again because...
Microphone?
I must say that I do enjoy Alistair from Has-Been Hotel quite a bit.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Now, the filters I usually use are just reverb, because music.
We do like music. And there was a good reverb that was getting squashed a little bit, shouldn't get squashed now. That's all the technicalities. But anyways, enough of a fair bit of shop talk there. But again, I'm sort of sorry. Usually I'm much better at jumping in, having like a really smooth intro and having a great way to just sort of segue into the first topic of the night.
Try again.
I'm having a day, let me tell you folks. It's a fine day. It's not the worst day I've had.
Oh my God.
But it's just been a day, so I'm a
Tell us
little
about your day, bestie. What happened?
There's not even much to say, honestly. Just, busy running a couple errands, a couple things with friends, and just finishing up projects and getting thrown for a loop. So but goodness knows, you've been quite busy yourself, Dee, because you are hot on the heels of your 2.0 debut.
Yeah, we're halfway into it. As you can see, it's still broken. But we decided to do this anyways, and I say we, but it's just Dee. This will all be completely rigged later. I got lucky that most of the face was something I was given to play around with. The rest is just duct tape and dreams.
Well,
we decided to go this route because on one hand, my art or my rig mom my rig mom was falling on very hard times. Very hard times. Big bad things were happening in her life. And I was like, oh my god, bestie, please take a rest. And she's like, no, I want to finish by your debut. And I'm like, it's okay. I will come up with something. And this was what I came up with so that she could take the break she needed. Like, she had 2 deaths in the family, lost a cat, and she was just not feeling herself. So I was like, no, I love her. She did my 1.0, and I love her as a person. She's a wonderful being. And I was like, I want you to be able to rig at your best and not feel rushed. And also, please take time to grieve and just live life. Stuff like that.
Yes, indeed.
So, then I came up with the concept of, let's just quickly have a reason for Dee to wind up super scuffed. There was going to be like a PNG interim model, but Art Mom was burnt out of art. So that didn't happen, but it's okay. We can all be burnt out, and we can all recover at our own pace. We'll be fine.
And to be fair, you're like 90% of the way there. That obviously we've got full functionality, we've got movement, we've got the wings working. It's just that a couple pieces aren't as attached as they might normally be, but everything moves, it works.
Yeah, for example,
it moves, it exists, it's there, the textures are all there, they're just not quite stitched together. Working is a relative term.
Believe it or not, the only thing that actually has rigging is just my head. It's just the head. The head is the only thing that has rigging. Everything else is on a swing hinges. It's all
hinges.
It's all duct
Hinges
tape.
are moving.
It's only duct tape.
You're faking it real well, Dee. Don't worry about it. Just work with me.
I am duct taped. It's just duct tape and glue and a little bit of chewing gum that we found.
Oh, not the chewing gum. Oh no. Wait a minute. Do you have any fresh chewing gum?
Oh, you're too sweet, and you're lying. Yes, I do. Do you want some?
Ooh, yes, please. What flavor?
Here you go. This is the polar ice.
Ooh, minty.
Twine, a bit of gum. There you go.
Oh yeah, duct tape and duct tape.
There's duct tape and duct tape.
Mm-mm.
I'm a photo cutout where you stick your... Don't put your head! You will have to remove mine first, and you have no idea how hard it is to keep this head floating in the right place. Just to start with.
I mean, that is the point of a dual hand, so I guess you could do one where you just have the head and, just hold it. And I don't know. I mean, Halloween's coming up. Halloween is a week away. Halloween's a week away, so all of this is on brand. If anybody asks, you entirely planned this. The whole reason that you were a Doulahan right now is to really get into the spooky season. This was not anything to do with the model being a little bit later than planned. No. This was all part of your Halloween planning.
Yeah, you got it. It's just spooky. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's totally it. You got it.
Yep. If anybody asked, this was the plan the whole time.
This is the whole time. That was what we planned. Yep.
And at the very least, a lot of other things did really go to plan. That you had that fantastic comic and animatic.
Thank you.
And it was voice acted too. You had so much there.
Storyboarded. Yeah, it was very easy to make sure things went well because I did it myself.
Sometimes you just gotta do the Thanos, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, I storyboarded that comic and I worked with Lilika Aoi. She does her stuff on Fiverr. I'm hoping she'll get a VGen soon, but she is wonderful. She did my 1.0 as well. and I had her bring the images to life, and then I did the scripting, the storyboarding, the voice acting, the horrible video editing, and the bad audio engineering, because I was like, you know what?
I've
I can
seen
make
and
this
heard
good enough.
worse. I think that was
And-
quite good.
We roll with it. Mtress has
We
got it. We
do.
just make it work. Oh, you're proud of me. Thank you. I
Mhm.
appreciate that.
Also, thank you to Kirkland the
It's a lot
Iron
of fun,
Sphinx,
too.
Alexander Agolos, and Matt MHZ for the follows. Welcome on in, folks. So, how long has Debut 2.0 been in the works? Because I think it's been in the works for a
Oh.
while, from what it seems.
Yes, very much so. We were going to have Debut 2.0. It was supposed to be started on last January, and it was supposed to debut in April. I was going to work with my art mom for 1.0. She had held a slot for me, but January rolled around, and she told me, hey, I can't do this anymore. And she was so apologetic because Honey Mommy got her first ever big art contract. And I was like, girl, go make that bag, get that money. I love this for her. She's kind of a smaller artist. She doesn't market her stuff well, but she is so good at what she does. And I really wish I could have kept working with her. However, her needing to do art with big contracts trumped me being on her wait list because they were paying extra for her time. So
It
after that, I
happens.
looked around frantically for a month to try and find an artist who could do this. And then we ran into Miss Sue, and she was willing to help us out. But as we got closer and closer to April, it looked like it just wasn't going to be done in time. Because, believe it or not, when Miss Sue first drew this model, she used a different pen for outlining, and all of my lines were hyperpixelated. I was pixel deep! And we were like, oh no, why are we so pixelated? And Ineo's like, nah, dog, I ain't rigging that.
Nah.
She had to redraw the whole model. It was horrible. We felt so bad.
No. But we got here, and we're gonna get
I was
even
at that
better.
moment- Yes, we got here. Yes. It was at that point where I had this sort of epiphany where I was like, you know, sometimes it's okay to just let things come together, let it be good enough, and when it's done, it will be done.
Yes.
I thought that going from May, June, July, August, September, October, I thought the extra 5 months would be fine. It wasn't. Too many things happened that were out of our control, but at that point I was like, it's okay. We'll keep rolling.
hmm
And I
you
hope
kept
that
streaming
this
throughout
debut
that
and
you didn't
whole
stop.
Process can... Yeah. Oh my gosh, no. I hope if anything this can be an example to people that it doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it happen. You can make it better later. And that's exactly what we did.
Mm-mm.
It's not perfect, but we're going to keep perfecting it. We'll keep doing the whole progress thing.
Yeah.
Miss Sue is an amazing artist. You are correct.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how we got here. What about you, tiny microphone man? Are there going to be updates in your future?
Probably not. I forget, did I tell you the story of how this little guy came about? Because I didn't have this model until my 3rd anniversary. The first 3 years of Vtuber Talk, I was a disembodied
What?
voice.
You weren't even a PNG?
I was not even a PNG, no. I guess I'm gonna tell this story as quickly as possible because I want you to be the one telling stories, but I was tuning into your stream earlier because, like we mentioned, you went live and you very graciously rated in, but while you were vamping for time, I tuned in for a couple minutes and heard you talking about me, and you were mentioning that I saw the need for there to be a talk show, and that's how this came about. You give me far too much credit, Dee. I was not a... that was not quite the mentality I had of I can't say that I was that thoughtful. It was not, oh, I think there should be a talk show
Selfishly just
and
want
it
to
needs
talk
to be done.
VTubers. You heard it here first.
It was selfish, and I was also not the first. That there were a couple at the time. The two real big ones, and their names are still very well known, that Domo Ariga Thanks, Domo, had his talk show before mine.
Thanks. I love that name.
Yes. No, amazing guy, adore him. And, kind of sad that he doesn't have the time to do as much as he used to, but certainly wish him all the best, and hopefully he's doing well. There's also Otaku Talks from John Loves Anime, which still runs every now and then. He does a lot of stuff with the VTuber Research Club nowadays. And those both predate me. And I suppose Domo hasn't had a show in a while. John has been a bit on and off. And to be fair, I've been a bit on and off. But I suppose of the three of us, I'm the one that is most active now. But I certainly cannot take credit for being the first. And that when I started up, they were both very active. So there were few, but it wasn't a clear, oh, there's nobody doing this thing. So I can't take credit for that. That this was very much I was bored and felt that I could do a good talk show and do so in a way that was just different enough from the two of them that I think the three of us, Domo, John, and I, all hosting talk shows, we do so very differently. That we all have our own styles, and I think that, frankly, I wish that the two of them had the time to still do it, and I very much think that if they had the time that they would still be doing it, because I think they still had that drive, and it was just life circumstances made it so they aren't able to as much. But that I think there's more than enough space for there to be 3 VTuber talk shows of various types, and that I always encourage folks, I want there to be more talk shows around. Like, if anybody ever wants to start a talk show, as long as you don't, use the name VTuber Talk, that I want there to be more, and that I encourage and I will give tips to people who want to start talk shows. But that is enough about me. But that's also sort of the long story short of that. And I didn't have a model. I didn't have a design. Never saw a VTuber, a humanoid design that I liked, that I felt that fit me. And for the 2nd anniversary charity marathon, the last goal that we hit was, we'd actually reached all the goals that I had thought of. So in the last couple hours, I just said to chat, okay, what do you all want to do? We've raised $6,000. If we get to 7,000, what would you want? I'm in a good mood. Obviously, we've raised so much. Just throw ideas out there. And somebody said, make a mascot. I said, sure, fine, can do that, easy. I know some great artists, and we can get that done. And I don't know if we're going to reach that goal anyways. There's only a couple hours left of this charity marathon. Put up the goal, and what do you know, we reach it. Okay, that's fine. I knew what I was going to do.
Congrats on reaching the goal.
And I knew right away the mascot was going to be a microphone. I'm not having the mascot of a talk show be a lion or a cat.
Why not? A lion can be on a talk show just in a fancy suit. Fancy suit lion.
I guess it didn't seem, at least for my talk show, it didn't make sense as a mascot. So I reached out to Captain Krabs.
If you were monetized.
But I reached out to Captain Krabs, who had actually been on my show in the very early days. He was like episode 11 or something. He was early.
I don't know Captain Krabs, but I love that name.
He is a crab. And I sent him just a very basic thing. It was like, I want it to be a microphone, give him a little suit and tie, and we'll see. And he sent me back basically this. There was a slightly different shape for the eyes, and the tie was red instead of blue, but everything else was the same. And we did the iterations to change the eyes and the tie, but I looked at it, and it was the first time I was like, I have never seen, and to this day have not seen, a humanoid model that I liked or that I resonated with and said I could see myself piloting that. But I
That's
looked
very
at this
cool.
little microphone and something in my head clicked and it was like, I can't see myself as a humanoid.
Resonated with the
but
mic in your soul.
I was like, I could just be a little guy. I could just be a little guy. So I went back to him and I said, hey, Krabs, I know you do rigging too. I'd like to upgrade my order from art to rigging. Here's the money. Can we do this? And he said yes. And then the 3rd anniversary charity marathon was also my stealth debut. I did not announce anything. I had in the teaser video for it the eyes opening, but even that wasn't released until a week or so before the event. So it was all very guarded. Only one of my friends knew it, and I was able to request all the artists that were involved, everyone from obviously Captain Krabs, also the folks that did the assets and whatnot, did not announce anything until afterwards. But I don't think I can't see myself necessarily updating this model, getting a 2.0, but I get variants because I also have
Yeah?
the Pipsqueak model.
Aw,
We do love the Pipsqueak.
Nuveen.
He's very fun. He's very cute. This one's done by Strawberry, who is another one of my past guests. They're amazing. They do these little
Wow.
Pipsqueak ones, and I had known, like, if I
I
ever...
like that the mouth moves. Like it's like full articulation. It's so cute.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Blob D style that Caro does. That's
Yeah.
so cute.
Mm. One
Tiny Mike would be cute.
And the price for the she calls them her Pipsqueak models. I still think that she's underpricing. These are so good, and they come with 10 toggles standard. I got 2 custom ones, but 10 standard ones. One of which is a wig steal, and I don't have hair, but she included the toggle anyway.
Does it remove the headphones? Yeah, very nice. Look at how shiny it is.
So shiny.
Wow.
And
Very cute.
then Pompino has their Matryoshka models, their wobbler models, and boy howdy, is it wobbly.
Whoa. Now I don't feel so bad that half of me is coming detached.
Oh no,
It kind of works.
that's the design intent on these ones.
You love that, Alexander? Oh my gosh.
But yes, that's enough of me. You're the guest tonight. I shouldn't be, showing off my models, but you asked the question, so
No.
that's the long story short. I don't think I would get a 2.0. I might get more variants though. We'll see about
Become
that.
an anime boy?
I don't think, probably not.
Okay.
I every so often sort of look at different artist styles and try to envision it. I still haven't had that click. I'll never say never,
That's
but
okay.
not likely. But anywho, enough about me. About you. You're the guest. You're the guest.
Hi.
Hi.
It's okay. I don't mind.
Mm,
I'm good for a yap and a hang.
Well, something I
cameo
know
in
you
my
can yap
comic?
about.
No. I don't know how I'd work a microphone into the lore. Unless I could use our friend Jay over here for music. But I don't know. You are a reporter. I don't know if you're a musical microphone.
I mean, I can be, depending on which sense, because I do sing a bit.
Artist
I play
D grabs
trombone.
Jay, uses him
but-
as microphone, and he's screaming because it's right into his dang ears.
It's that way. There you go. Wait, no, there we go.
What do you want me to sing?
Fly me to the moon, and let me.
I will always love you.
You.
I will always love you. I will always love you. There you go. Now you got to be a microphone today. Yippee!
Mm,
Or we just scream. I need to practice Fry screaming and then I can go. Ah, Blue, thank you. Too sweet. Music is hard. And
Music
these
is very
goobers seem
hard.
to think They seem to think I can sing, but they're all hallucinating. Enjoy your group hallucination.
I mean, we have certainly been group hallucinating because if you're saying that you're not a singer, you have me fooled.
No. I was literally mentioning on stream right before this about my eldest sister. She can sing. She is classically trained. She has her master's degree in theater. She's been on TV 3 times. She does off-Broadway productions.
Wow.
She can sing. She's
Wow.
very good. And I grew up with that. I am a chorus girl. I can carry a tune.
Are you
in
a theater
barky-
kid too? Dee, are you a theater
Absolutely.
kid too?
We're all
Yes.
thespians.
Yes.
Bunch of thespians. Oh my god. It's
I
why
need
we're
to
all
get
dramatic.
actual stats. Like, I want to see a VTuber census of what percentage of VTubers are former theater kids, because I'm pretty sure
Like
the
all of
number's like,
us.
it's gotta
Yeah.
be at least 50%, probably 60.
It's lots of us.
It's a lot.
Yep. We can't help it. The need to scream. So-
If you are comfortable saying, you do not need to say where, when it was, but I'm guessing you have, if you're a theater kid, that means that you were in some number of plays and or musicals.
Oh yeah, when I was small, with family and friends and community theater.
What is your favorite show that you've been in and your favorite role if it's not in the favorite show? And, obviously keep the details of where, when, totally vague. I don't want to, get into any, private information, but to whatever degree you are comfortable talking about those shows.
Well, honestly, my favorite part about being in theater was not actually being on stage. I enjoyed being set crew. I liked
Oh.
being a techie in the wings. I liked learning how to work the lights. I liked doing audio for other people, and I liked setting the stage and making the magic happen. But if I had to pick a favorite role, the most involved role I was ever in was in a community production of, it's called Anne Frank and Me. And the
Ooh.
story is about a girl in high school who is supposed to be reading about the diary of Anne Frank, who was a Holocaust.
Seen this one.
It's a Holocaust story.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is she's hit by a car, and then she's transported into the world of Anne Frank, and she's living through the eyes of Anne Frank.
Okay,
and
I
she
haven't seen
sees-
this one, but
Yeah.
obviously the story of Anne Frank is a very historically significant one and
Yeah.
ends in a very dark time in history. So I don't mean to make light of this, but this is an Anne Frank isekai.
Yeah, it was an Anne Frank isekai. I was not Anne Frank or the girl. I was her little sister. My big sister Lee played the lead role, which was the main girl. And in this, this was the first time that Dee's weird ability to learn any skill. Oh, I have a weird superpower. In case you did not already know, I can learn any skill if I'm given a week to focus on it. And I've amassed a lot of really weird skills because of that. But this was the first time that skill had appeared as a child. And
What was the skill? Was it acting as a
I
whole, or
learned
was
to
there something
play the
specific?
violin in 3 days.
Like, how
Like,
how complex are we saying here? Because just getting a note out of a violin isn't that difficult. It's you pull the bow across the strings, that's fine. But are you learning a full song? Are you learning
Yes.
a couple of bars?
I had to learn how to play Furlise on the
Oh,
violin.
Furlise.
And I had to learn how to do vibrato on the violin.
And vibrato that's a
If
more
you
technical
shake-
skill,
yeah, if
but
you-
to make it
so,
sound good is
Like vibrato for vocals is where you relax the vocal cord and you go
Yeah.
from extended notes, you get like a
yeah, it's
to a and you let the vocal cords relax. And on the violin, it's from to yeah, that's what you do. So I, as the little sister, I got to be silly, weird, and wild, and I had to learn how to play the violin. And they were like,
Why did
"Do
it
we
have to
a
happen in 3
violin?"
days, though? Usually, production times for musicals are months. What happened that it was a 3-day thing of, hey, Dee, gotta learn that in 3 days. Did they
Oh,
just
no.
forget?
Clarify. let me say exactly what I said. I learned to play the violin in 3 days. Not that I had to. I had months.
You had
They
months. You
had me
just
playing
you just speed ran it.
I speed ran learning how to play the violin because all I did was practice for 3 days to get the song down.
I
And
guess if
then
you have a weekend.
Yeah, and then I went into the next school year and I joined the orchestra. So I learned how to play the violin in 3 days. Same thing actually happened in university. My freshman year, I was doing chorus. Wow, sorry, motorcycles.
Don't worry, I was doing I'm surprised
chorus.
it hasn't happened to me yet. I unfortunately have some very noisy cars where I live.
Chorus stuff I was doing, and the symphonic orchestra in university, their harp player stepped out, and I had been helping because I made it to a national group and they were doing a small crossover with the symphonic orchestra. They didn't need all the vocalists though. And I was like, your harp player ran away. Why? And they're like, well, she got into an accident. She can't play. She like broke her wrist.
Oh no.
I was like, I bet you I could learn how to play that. And like, no way, Dee, no way. And one of my friends, girly pop Haruna, she was like, yes, she can. At this point in time, Haruna had seen me step in for an anime convention and learn how to lead a bunch of musicians earlier. And I helped someone with a guitar, and I've never played guitar before. I have played piano, but then they were like, I bet you she can do it. She said she could do it, let her do it. So I stepped in for a symphonic orchestra and learned how to play a pedal harp in 2 weeks so that I could help them for their performance. And now, hang on, I actually have one in, let me grab it. I have hanging out in the corner.
It can't be a full harp. Those things are massive.
It's in the corner. I have, if I can drag her out of the corner.
Be careful.
Okay. It's a medium, and I'm breaking everything.
Please don't break.
Goodness,
The
hang
harps
on.
are expensive.
But it's kind of cool because I have a harp. It's I have a harp, but this one is not pedal. It's like a, what's it called? Oh God, she's so out of key. This one's a lever harp. Yeah, it's a lever harp, so it's got little levers on the top that you trigger and toggle, and it. I need to tune you. I can play, but not right now because she's so out of tune. But I have a harp, so I learned in 2 weeks how to play pedal harp, and afterwards I took lessons with the orchestra when she came back, and I played with them for 2 other performances.
My musical journey is...
Now you know!
I had a situation where I had to learn stuff
turnkey
quickly.
Mm?
It wasn't quite that.
Oh, you had to do the same thing?
Yes and no. So
Wow,
I
the
actually
irony.
played violin for half a year in 4th grade and had to stop. 4th grade was just sort of hectic for me and my parents. I did not want to stop, but my parents said, no, we're going to have you stop because we know that you don't have the time. It was like, I was very sad. And I decided to pick music back up in middle school. And I decided to do it in 7th grade because if you, in my middle school, you either did band, orchestra, chorus, or they had an arts class. And since I hadn't been playing anything at that point in time, I was in the arts class and I did not like it. I did not enjoy it at all. But my friends had been saying how much they loved the music teacher and the band teacher. Oh, hi. Hey, Krabs. We were talking about you earlier and how this little dude came about.
Your name is so cute!
That is Captain Krabs. But,
I love it. Cute crab.
So I said that I wanted to join the band, and my idea was I was going to play trumpet. And the band teacher said, well, we have a lot of trumpet players. And if you really want to play trumpet, you can, but you'll have to be in the beginning band with the 6th graders, not the 7th graders, your friends.
Aww.
But we have no trombones. If you take a couple of trombone lessons and choose that instead of trumpet, you will be put in the 7th grade band with your friends. And I said, well, I'll play trombone. So
Trombone? Z
I
played the trombone.
played.
Cuties, remember that. Ask her about it later.
I took a couple lessons and was put in and was instantly the first chair trombone because I was the only
Wow.
trombone.
Yippee!
So, not quite.
Oh my God,
the-
Krabs also played trombone. Trombonists.
If I knew that, I forgot that. I'm not sure if he ever actually told me that, but that's neat.
No, I
But yes,
only ever
did that
officially
and-
played violin
Mm,
and piano officially, and then
But-
chorus girly.
I didn't play any other instruments, then got into theater and did stuff, and one of my superpowers is I can learn things moderately fast, but what I can do really fast is memorization.
What can you memorize?
If you give me a script and just an hour or something, I can have stuff down really fast. And it
I
was
too
to the point
can have it down if I throw it on the ground.
on the ground. Because I had someone in a rehearsal one time. It was our first day. It's called off book, which I'm sure you know, but for anyone in the audience, basically, that's the
don't.
first rehearsal when you don't have the scripts in your hands. That the director will have the script in the audience, and if you need a line, you just call out line. And during this first rehearsal, it's expected that you'll probably have to request lines a lot. I knew my lines, and I also knew the lines of the other people in my scenes, so I saw one of the other actors forgetting their line, and I just sort of mumbled their line to them so they didn't have to call the director. And they gave me this and just said, "Why do you know my lines?" And I was just like, well, I memorized the scene, like all the whole scene. Yes,
Cool.
it was neat. So you did me and Anne Franken got to act alongside your sister, and that's also just very cool of getting to actually act alongside her.
Yeah, I was
But-
gonna kidnap you. Take both our parts.
But you mentioned that you also did a lot of things with lighting and stage crew.
Yeah.
At my high school, most folks, if you were acting, you still did stage crew or at least some sort of tech, that especially in the weeks and months before a show, and you might not be stage crew during the show, moving the sets, but that you would be
That's so
involved
amazing.
in a lot of the tech. So was that what it was like at your school, or were you...
It was like you could choose to be an actor or you could choose to be on stage crew. And there was just 2 years I went off for set crew, and that's really it. It was just fun to be a part of. There's not much else I have to talk about that though.
Any favorite moments of things going silly, crazy, or just
No,
a really good moment?
I'm very meticulous about figuring out what needs to be in a scene and timing. That's one of the reasons that my sound effects and my zooms that I used previously, I don't have them turned on right now for stream, were the way they are. It's mastering timing,
So that was the first time you worked a
lights,
soundboard.
colors, sound, and design. And those were small things that I did in the background. And I'm like, man, it would be fun to do this and like direct a production one day.
That
But the
makes
closest
sense.
I've ever gotten. Go ahead.
Oh no, just that it makes sense that that's how you have the experience and why you're so adept at working your soundboard and everything.
The closest I've ever gotten is Big Sister Z when she came to do karaoke with me. Me doing zooms, camera work, and lighting for her while she was singing. I was right next to her. Post that stream, she was like, "Girl, I don't understand how you push all the buttons." And I'm like, "It's the ADD, baby. That's how we do it." Yeah, I'm not nearly as much of a theater kid as my eldest sister was, or Z for that matter. They were in many more productions than I was. Like, we did Annie, and I was one of the orphans. We did a weird production of Wizard of Oz with a community playhouse, and I was the lion, and I was just a roar.
Rawr.
We did, when I was small, we did Sound of Music at a high school, but that one was only me, and that one happened on accident.
Tianova in the chat does say Dee has a cute story about Sound of Music, so there has to be something there if Tianova is making a point to call that one out.
So when I was very small, I mean itty bitty, this is like 5 years old, 4 years old. I think I was only 4. I was in love with the Little Mermaid, and
As many 4-year-olds are.
I would sing Look at This Stuff whenever I possibly could. We had just moved to a new town, and my mom was talking to different schools about getting my siblings enrolled and learning about the school and touring the schools, and she took me with her. And while we were at this high school, I was singing in the breezeway in the front of the high school, and one of the music directors heard me singing, and apparently she walked through the halls and she was like, what is this voice?
Why
Where is
do
that
I hear
voice
this?
coming
Where is it
from?
coming from?
I need this voice. And so she found me, and she's like, little girl,
Who are you? Where have you
parents?
come from? Why are you here?
Yes, why are you singing in the breezeway? And then my mom came to come get me, and she's like, madam, we're doing a production. Would your daughter like to audition for us? She's like, sure, do you want to? I'm like, okay, I can sing for you, sure. They brought me into their music room, and the piano guy was like, can you sing from the Sound of Music? Like, do you know Do, Re, Mi? And I was apparently very shy, and I was like, I'm afraid of the piano man. My mom used to tell me that I like hid behind the music lady, and I was like, I can't sing, he scares me. So they're like, just sing a cappella for us. And so I sang a cappella for them, and they were like, sold, we want your daughter to be part of our production. And my mom was like, sure. And this was eventually the school that my siblings would go to for middle school before we moved one final time. And then my mom would drive me, and she dropped me off to the production, and I was definitely not a middle schooler, but they decided to have me as the part of Gretel in The Sound of Music, so I was the littlest sibling.
Makes sense,
And
yeah.
The final performance, there was a school bus of people that came to see the performance, and my mom tells me that after the performance, we walked outside, she held my hand, and the kids on the school bus were waving at me. They're like, oh, look, there's that girl, she was Gretel. And they were waving at me, and I was waving goodbye, and I go, Mom, look, I have fans.
The first of many fans.
No, I've never been one to be like, look at me, I am the most important, pay attention to me.
Well,
no, it was very cute. I was just very
That
happy
doesn't
to
mean
give
you
them all
don't
a
have
good
fans.
show. No, I was very excited that they remembered me and that they liked my performance. That was fun. I don't remember much about it except for the best juice boxes, sitting on steps covered in carpet, and the person who was my father in the play picking me up and spinning me around a whole bunch. Every time we came to practice, he goes, there's my Gretel! And he'd have me run to him, and he'd pick me up and toss me in the air.
And this was a community theater one, so there were adults and kids, and
Yes.
this all makes sense. That especially
It was a lot of
the
fun.
youngest roles are the ones that are the most difficult to cast, because it can be difficult to find children who are able to
Who
sing
can
at
act.
all and act at all. That even if you don't necessarily know how to read music or something, can you sing moderately on tune? Cool, great, we can work with that.
My mom used to say I had perfect pitch, but I know now that's not the case. I can pitch match. Perfect pitch is being able to, like, somebody says, sing me a C, and you can sing a C. That's not what I can do.
Yeah,
If you give me a starting note, I can sing you a melody.
That's exactly what I do.
I only know this because when I was in university, I met a music major, this guy who was the one who corrected me very rudely.
Oh, boo.
Because I'm like, my mom used to tell me I have perfect pitch. And he was like, oh, really? Why don't you sing me a C? And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, if you have perfect pitch, you should be able to sing a C. And if you can't, I'll tell you what it was. And then he pops out a perfect C right there. And he'd come to every, like, anime club practice and be like, you're off pitch by about a 14th of a note. I know because I have perfect pitch. And I was like, bro, okay, I can pitch match.
Okay, yeah.
And then there was this one time where he was participating with us. We were trying to transpose music. So you take the music and you move it higher or lower. And they were like, I don't know if I can sing this. And I'm like, well, girly pop, we were doing like a layered harmony for some anime song. I'm like, what if we just take it lower if it's too high? And so I'm like, someone give me a lower note. And they play lower note. And I sing the melody at the lower note. And he freaks out. He's like, how can you do that? I can't hear it. I can only hear it in the original scale. Why do you do that with your face? And I'm like,
You broke him.
Pitch matching. I broke him by pitch matching. He's so perfect pitch, he could only hear it.
He could only hear perfect.
Yeah, he could only hear it perfect in its original key. And I was like, dude. But every time I would practice, he would pipe up and be like, you're flat, you're sharp. And I was like, thank you, but I didn't ask. I will learn to hear it myself. Thank you. He wasn't even in the music. And I was like, bro, please. Needless to say, he finished his music major, and I don't think he did anything with it. But I kept practicing with my ear, and it is true. I can hear when I'm flat. I can hear when I'm sharp, and it just takes practice to listen back to your own notes and then adjust them. I was actually doing a stream the other day where that's what we did. I showed people how I record, not a cover, but I use a similar philosophy for a cover. It's on YouTube. One of my friends asked me to make them guide melodies for a song they want to cover. And I went through and I was listening back to each line and I'm like, oh, this isn't the pitch. It needs to be, and I need to shift this note up. And I would sing it to myself, listen to the piece back and forth. And I was like, this is how you do it. I kept in contact with him only for a couple of months, but that's because we were all part of the anime community Plasma. And I did one last convention before I went to the military. But I asked this of you, Jay, have you ever done musical production? Have you ever made covers or otherwise?
Well, yes and yes. So I actually am able to do pitch matching as well, and that was my secret.
Yay!
Or it was my accidental secret throughout high school because I took
Isn't
chorus.
that just expected of chorus kids to pitch match?
That's the thing. I took chorus in elementary school because in elementary school, everybody had chorus class. There was not an option. I did not take it in middle school because I was in the band, and I didn't take it in high school because, again, I was still in band at that point.
Trombone.
But along with my memorization, memorizing pitches is part of that for me, and that I never was taught how to read choral music. I knew how to read, trombone sheet music, bass clef, but when I auditioned for the musicals at my high school, I just listened for the audition. All I would do is I would listen to the soundtrack of the show that I was auditioning for, memorize the song I was auditioning with, and just match it. And that's all I needed. And once it got into the show, that again, I'd be memorizing the soundtrack, but also during rehearsals, the choral director would usually sing something, or I would be able to listen and hear and match around me, so I just blend in. And it was in my senior year that I had a solo, because it had just never come up before that my strength mostly was the acting part. So I was always in ones that had singing parts, but it would be usually 2 or 3 people in a song. It wasn't usually the solo singer's roles. But in this senior year, I did have something that was a solo, and I was working with the choral director one-on-one, and he was pointing at something in the music, and he was like, you see here that does this, that, the other. And I said, sir, you know I don't read choral music. And he gave me this look. He was like, what do you mean you don't read choral music? I was like, well, I haven't been in your class ever. The only time I've ever done chorus and singing is during the musicals every year, but I've never had solos. I just listen and do the note. And he sort of had this moment of like, You know, I'd never lied to him. I had never said I could read choral music. He just assumed. So, yeah, and, you know, we were able to work through it. It was very easy because I was just like, sing those notes for me and I can do it. He sang it and I did it and it was fine. But it was sort of this moment that I didn't know that he didn't know.
Let it be known, cuties and those in chat, that learning to pitch match alone is not where you build skill for music.
No,
you
it is
have
not.
To learn. Your voice is just another instrument,
Mm-mm.
which is why the other day in the stream it was like, I was saying you can learn how to do this for everything, and they're like, is everything a learned skill? And I'm like, yes, everything except I can't even remember what I said, but it was everything except something ridiculous is something you can learn from music.
Breathing
you have
underwater.
To learn to control your instrument. Breathing underwater, yes.
That is not a learned skill.
You can't learn that. You either can or you can't. Try it once, learn that you can't, and then don't do it again.
I advise also not trying it for very long more than once because that can lead to
try to take one breath. On that note though, do you ever wish that you had a cool superpower?
Oh, I mean, I feel like everyone wishes they had superpowers of some sort.
What kind of superpower would you have if you could have any superpower?
I was afraid.
To
Just so
fight
you know,
what?
I will be asking you this same question. Don't think you can get away from this one. But fine.
Mine's a cheat.
Oh no. I think that I would probably choose telekinesis because it's so flexible. Because with telekinesis you can fly because you levitate yourself in that case. So that covers flying. It covers moving and a lot of other things. Sometimes telekinesis can also include things like mind reading, but even if not, just the ability to move things, you know, with your mind in that way is what I think I would choose. What about you?
The cheat superpower, unlimited power of creation and destruction so long as I have my magical toe that allows me to wield said magic.
Yeah.
Take away the book, take away the power. Or if it has to be one simple power, I would want the ability to, like, healing. But not just like, I can heal you, but like, I can touch something and know what's wrong with it. And use it to heal anything. That, or the power to absorb knowledge by touching it. I would know all of the things by touching a computer. It'd be really cool. I would become AI. I am Siler. You get the reference! Let's friggin' go!
I'll admit I don't get that reference. What is Siler? Or who is Siler?
Siler's from a show. It's pretty obscure. It was popular for a little while, but then no longer. Okay, so Siler is a fictional character from... It was like a NBC superhero drama. It was called Heroes.
Okay, I do remember...
Do you know
Heroes?
Heroes?
I know of Heroes. I never watched it. I remember it aired a lot on G4.
Yeah, G4 had it everywhere. Heroes was really cool, but for those of you who don't know, the Heroes series itself is just ordinary people all of a sudden wake up one day after
it's an eclipse, right?
Something happens to them.
I think it's an eclipse.
And they have superhero powers, and all of these characters have to work together to prevent catastrophic futures. And Siler starts out as like the big bad, and he's still a horrible big bad as the series is like continues to evolve, but he's able to like dissect people's brains and learn how their powers work. So he kidnaps people with powers and he's just absorbing abilities over and over and over again.
Oh, he's all for one.
Yes, he is all for one. I want to be the villain. Now you know.
Villain D!
Yep. To be evil and to have that power so that I can finally go mad. Because if you tried going mad without power, it's boring.
Yeah, well, if you go mad without power, people just look at you funny.
And they're like, you crazy, silly little bean. Look at you going mad over there. Don't go mad over there. Go mad elsewhere.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
no.
nah. But then,
but
if you go crazy and you have powers, then people take you seriously.
Like, oh god, they're shooting lightning from their fingertips. We better run. Yeah, so superpowers, that would be it.
Mm-mm.
We did a villain ASMR once. I only had half an hour of evil material and then I became a goober again. It's true. I would find it hard to be a real big villain. I would be out here like, no, believe me, I'm a villain.
I'm
You have
very,
to
very
look at
evil.
me.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I assure you, I
would be-
did very bad things. Don't ask what they were. I can't
I'm
remember.
villain. I'm big.
A big
I'm
villain.
mean.
Mm-mm.
That's what would happen. The power to use every other power would be great.
That's a
who
bit too
knows?
much. But also, what if there's nobody else with powers? Then you have no powers.
This is true. Only being able to use other people's abilities but never quite as good. It's literally my art skill. I tell people I'm a Sharingan artist all the time. I do not have art skill. I cannot create anything natively by myself without references, but I can alter and edit an existing piece. Or I can create like the base of something. So like I drew something for a friend of mine and I used a 3D model and traced the 3D model and added clothes to it. But I can't design things on my own without the base references. And I still have no concept of line art. What about you? Do you do art?
No,
How do you
that
feel about art?
eh,
No art?
I
should
have.
teach you the art of Skrunkle.
I know that I can learn art. I know that anybody can become a good artist with time and
Yes!
dedication.
Alexander's got it.
I
These
have.
stupid morals keep getting in my way.
I
just
do
saw
not
that.
have any. Oh dear! First off, I just realized that something went wrong with the background.
It's me! I broke
Has
it!
the- has the
Villainy
ba-
is afoot! Let's go! Get wrecked! I'm villainizing
Did I
out
click
here!
something extra by accident? Nope, that's there. Why is that there?
Your
Was that-
morals.
was
Leave
that
me
always
alone with your
doubled?
morals.
Were those plants always like that? I thought that.
Yes.
What the
Definitely
heck?
not sinister nonsense
No,
afoot.
it's not. Why is that happening? I know what went wrong.
It's tea.
So I had another stream earlier this morning
Oh?
because I did a reaction to the Kirby Air Riders Nintendo Direct, which is not something I normally do.
Kirby Air Ride.
But I love Kirby Air Ride, and Imukuni and I reacted to that early this morning, and
Oh,
I had to put a filter
nice.
on that because of how that was set up, and I forgot to take that off. So I can't believe I didn't notice that things looked very wrong, so they should look better now. There we go. Now, where were we?
I
uh,
won't stop messing with the timeline, Azerios. It's what I
now
do.
I'm trying to remember.
I have to. Shenanigans must be afoot.
You had asked me a question, then I blanked.
I forgot. The ADD has already taken over.
Yep. If somebody in chat remembers for us, like I said, I'm a little out of it today. But
Flap, 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 flap.
so
We had a whole
you-
bunch of questions that we
About-
talked about before this
Oh,
actual
art.
interview. Like Jay
yes,
went and
no, I
and
have
called
that
me
list
up
right
and was
here.
like, let's talk about things. You had
Mm-hmm.
a list, and we were yammering on about a whole bunch of other things. We haven't touched any of those.
No, well,
topics.
we've gotten a couple here because we've gotten voices. We got.
It's true if you haven't.
We've mentioned anime a bit. Haven't really dug into that. But also, I remembered your
Anime.
question. It was if I do art. No,
Yeah, art.
I'm very bad at
Anyone
drawing.
can
It's
art.
bad. I know I could learn. I do.
We should
I have no
scrunkle
interest in
together,
learning.
and you could square mouth if you wanted to.
Maybe.
Don't worry,
Hmm.
it's a silly, stupid thing. Me and Dahlia get together, and everything we draw, I put a square mouth on it, and we just get stupid, and yeah, and it just and we make them talk like
Ah.
South Park puppets.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
Square mouth.
I'm not your guy, friend.
Yes, we did that one. That's where there's a clip of our first one. So I don't know where Johnny came from, but we were so slap happy. There was a Johnny. He failed the bar. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. But tell me about your experience with art while I attempt to search for this clip.
I took art class in elementary school because I was required to, and everyone had art once a week. I
Yeah.
had that art class in 6th grade, and I hated it so much, it's why I took up trombone.
No! So you took up trombone?
Well, part of it was the teacher was just not a good teacher, but also I just didn't enjoy it. It is not something I enjoy. I have many friends who are incredible artists. I understand why some people like it. It's just never something that really clicked with me.
Oh, that's okay. I've shared a clip with you about Square Mouth. This is what happens at the end of every art thing we've ever done. Ignore us, look just at the art, and you can enjoy the glory that is Square Mouth.
Oh, yes, I
She
see
was
Square
teaching-
Mouth.
Yeah, she was teaching us how to art, and it's just a lot of we are so slap happy. Have we tried again? Are you talking to me, Azarios, or are you talking to Jay? Try it again after a bad art teacher? You should attempt scrungling. It's where you give yourself
I don't have
2
time
minutes.
at this point. I do many other things that I'm
No,
very
do it
happy
on
to do.
stream for fun.
God. You know what?
That's
Well, one, the problem
what
is
I
I
do.
don't have a tablet or anything, so it would all be with a mouse.
yeah, that's the best kind.
But maybe that's what I do, because the 5th anniversary
fun.
charity marathon is going to be coming up in January, and I need to start thinking
Make
of goals.
Jay do art for charity.
I think I'm going to make an art stream one of the goals.
Yeah! Perhaps you could get something simple like a huyon.
Either that or just... Or maybe, I feel like it'd be better if I just did it with a mouse, because it would be part of how it is so bad, and I wouldn't want to buy a tablet
Well, you
just
can
for the
get-
one.
Let me-
Maybe I
let
could
me
find
send
someone to
to
borrow
you.
it from.
This is in US dollars. US dollars. They US your dollars. You could get the Inspiroi. These are pen tablets, so they don't have a screen, but they're like less than $50 USD.
Okay.
I send you.
It's that cheap.
It's reasonable. I have a huyon,
Mm.
an Orangelo huyon. Where's mine? Do they have mine? Mine was so cheap when I got it. It was dirt cheap. I think I got the Inspiro Medium, and it's still too big for my needs. These are pretty dang big.
Okay, I could set that as
Yeah, like
higher
$50.
up goal of, if we raise certain number of thousand of dollars that
Maybe it was this.
I'm willing to spend $50 on an art tablet, I can do that. So thank you. I'm going to note that.
Yeah, I put it in our chat, so you have some links in the future.
Yeah.
You can check it out and then do art. I
Mhm.
recommend it. It's a good, cheap starter tablet for anyone to try tablet art.
Mm.
Wow.
But speaking of acting,
Alam
I wonder.
salam alaikum Ortiz.
Hi, Alam.
Yeah, you can do.
Welcome in.
You can do a non-screen tableto.
Mm.
I don't do art except for scrunkling, or to try and do something on the back end. But
But you
scrunklings are
scrungle very
fun.
well.
We scrunkle with the best of them because
Mhm.
of practice now.
Yeah.
Practice scrunkled.
Speaking of which,
Sahanin, nice to meet you.
I bet that acting in, very early on, Sound of Music, that probably, did that lead to involvement with the reenactment community?
No,
No,
I was like
okay.
a baby.
Mm.
Sound of Music, I was a baby. Acting, community stuff, and it was mostly because my siblings are all actors and they just expected us to be the Von Trapp family. And everywhere we went, they're like, oh, your big sister is in this play. Is everybody else gonna be in the play? And we were like, I guess we're gonna be in the play now. It just happened that way. The SCA is because I'm a giant nerd and I found the Dungeons and Dragons community in university.
Well, wait a minute. So these are two separate things. Because there's the
yeah.
SCA, the Society of Creative Anachronisms, but there's also the reenactment community. And D&D is roleplay, but it's not reenactment. So how do these two
I'm a filthy
connect?
LARPer. You know what a LARP is?
Yes, live action roleplay.
It's the dirtiest word in all of nerddom.
It's certainly up there.
People are like, ew, LARPer, because they think of the movie Role Models, where everyone was like super hardcore,
Mm.
like they talk like this, the lisp nerds, and they wear capes and they run around in the woods.
Yeah,
When
or you
LARPing
see
is-
coverage of anytime a news station does a story on LARPing, they just always manage to make it look as weird as possible.
They
because
do,
everything they
and
do
they're
is out of
missing out.
context. There's no
Yep.
establishment, and it's just, all right, well, I see these weird folks in robes and holding foam bats, saying weird stuff and holding out their hands. This looks cringe. This looks weird.
Yep.
What's with these nerds?
That's what people think. Oh my god, it's so cringe. But if you've actually been to a LARP, you're like, holy crap, this is the coolest thing ever. My first LARP experience was freshman year university with the group that I did D&D with, and so it went like this. My pipeline to LARP was D&D, Society for Creative Anachronisms, LARP. Because we played D&D with this awesome group and this wonderful group leader. He was not our GM, he was just a member. He's like, hey, do you guys want to try dressing up in costume and stuff? Do you want to come to an SCA event? Invited us to our first SCA event. And there, the leader of this one group of Viking SCA folks was like, oh man, if you guys like this, maybe you would like LARPing. He had a plot of 15 acres.
Whoa,
And he ran
okay.
a LARP on his property, and they met like once a month for an event. And it was back in the ancient days of Nero, which is a system long gone.
Oh.
But it's like he landscaped his property. My first LARP experience was we met up before the event weekend. We built our characters. We came up with garb. We had weapons made. We had them checked by the plot team before we got to use them live. And I was given like a pouch, a leather pouch. And they're like, here's your coins that your character would have made from the skills you know. And I was like, wait, you get real money in this game? And they're like, yeah, you can spend it in game on stuff. And I was like, I'm holding treasure. It was the coolest thing to like have it in my hands and go, I'm holding treasure. And then I killed a goblin, and they're like, don't forget to loot the body. And I'm like, I get to loot the body?
Loot the
What do you
body.
mean I get to loot the body?
Loot that body. Loot that body.
Loot that body, baby. Loot that mother. Yeah. So I looted. I didn't have a flute, but I was jumping
Appreciate
around
that
while I
you know
looted
Tom Cardy.
the dead goblin's body. And I cut off an ear, and I got the little ear prop, and I got cute little potion bottles and little things, and I held it in my little squirrel hands, and I was like, oh my god, I have real treasure. And it was like the tangible moment of holding loot made it feel like a real adventure, and I was just hooked from that moment on. Yes. It was great. Running around in the woods, swinging weapons, wearing cool costumes, eating food that is made medieval fantasy fair style, with medieval fantasy fair style, like, food, I don't know, vessels, bowls, and stuff. It was very cool, and it only got better because LARPs just continue to improve. I could talk about that for a while, but, my good bean, have you ever been to a LARP?
I have not, and it's something that surprises me because so many of my
Same.
friends LARP. It's just I've not had the time or the place to do it. That because I moved away from home for work about 10 years ago, and most of my friends who do LARPing are back at home, and it's the type of thing that I visit home every so often, but it's never long enough to be part of a LARP. That I'm usually there for a family event or something, or for something very specific. And that the friends where I moved, I have a lot of friends, but they don't LARP. That they do D&D and a lot of other things, but also just the place that I live is very hot most times of the year. So LARPing is just not as easy to do. Whereas the place that I grew up, it has more diverse seasons. That it can get hot in the summer there, but that most of the time, it's going to be a reasonable temperature. And I think it's just because where I live now is a very hot area, so LARPing is much more difficult.
Earlier about the thespian to like creator pipeline, every LARPer I've ever met was either a theater kid, an otaku super weeb, or a heavy gamer nerd.
Oh yeah.
Or somebody who was into crafting. It's one of those groups is
LARPing
always
is
in
not
LARP.
LARPing is not a gateway form of fandom or nerdery. You need
Oh, but
to...
it can be. Like, once you get into LARPing, if you weren't a crafter before, bam, you're a crafter because you're making your own weapons.
I mean gateway in the sense of that you, like you were saying, that you don't start as a LARPer. That's never your first thing as a nerd. That you do something else and then it leads to LARPing, and then that can lead to other things.
Yep.
But
Oh my God.
LARPing itself is
it made
never
me a
the first gate.
leather worker.
Oh man. That, because
You do so many weird things when you're in LARP. You're like, man, I wish I had cooler costumes. Well, I guess I'm making my own costumes now. Like, man, I wish I had a XYZ thing. Like, well, I guess I'm making it myself now. You start crafting things out of resin. You start goddess only knows what.
Plasmid has it. LARPing is a prestige class. It's where you go after you've already
It's a
gotten really deep
prestige
into
class.
something else.
Oh my God.
I do want to
so
go LARPing sometime, though. I love improv. I love acting. I love everything related to LARPing. I really just need to get to a physical location that isn't silly hot and have enough time to be there to do the LARP. It's actually, that's really it for me.
No.
So, we've mentioned it a couple times. The SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronisms.
Yes.
Please explain that. Because I see the name and I am pretty sure I know what it is. But
Yeah.
for both myself and anybody who's watching who might not know, what actually is the Society for Creative Anachronisms and how does it fit into this broader
man.
story of LARPing and roleplay and everything else?
Oh my God.
Oh my
So- The Society for Creative Anachronisms is like a nationally and now internationally renowned society for how to put for medieval recreation. So they take what they consider the best part of the Middle Ages and do their darndest to recreate it. So there's a lot of historical research that goes into everything from language used to fabrics made to mannerisms to food. And all of this research is documented as well as archived at a state level and a regional level. You can get awards within the SCA that are state recognized for arts and sciences because of the depth of historical research and association that has gone into these projects. It's really neat. And what I mean by that is there are historical societies world over that still don't have certain details put together because no one's gone and studied source material. No one's gone and looked through ancient texts or pieces of artwork to try to put these things together. And people in the SCA do this. No death plague. No.
No.
We don't do the death plague. But we have events where people dress up as rats and you do have to combat them. It's very LARP adjacent. But they make it themed to like an ancient French festivity and stuff like that.
Ooh.
In the SCA, lots of people know it for the cool costumes that are all period proper. So we call it like period garb, where it's made of materials that would have been around up until the late or early 1600s is the cutoff.
Yeah. I'm
And
actually on the
there's-
SCA website right now.
There's combat, there's cooking, there's bardic, where they do music and recreate medieval music. There's scripture, or the work of the scribes, where
Ooh.
they put together old like parchment and pen, quill, ink style artwork and fancy letters. All royal decrees are handmade by scribes in the SCA, and it's really cool to watch it all come together.
Ooh. Yeah. On the SCA's website, What is SCA page, the Society for Creative Anachronism, SCA, is an international nonprofit volunteer educational organization The SCA is devoted to the research and recreation of pre-17th century skills, arts, combat culture, and employing knowledge of history to enrich lives of participants through events, demonstrations, and other educational presentations and activities. Members of the SCA study and take part in various activities, including combat, archery, equestrian activities, costuming, cooking, metalwork, woodworking, music, dance, calligraphy, fiber arts, and much more. If it was done in the Middle Ages or Renaissance, odds are you'll find someone in the SCA interested in recreating it.
If you were just going to grab the definition, why'd you ask to describe what it was?
I didn't look it up until like you were halfway through explaining it, and I was just like, I want to see the website, and I found it's like, oh, okay, yeah. That way you have the sort of like official line, but that you gave so much more texture to the explanation there. That was the book, the textbook answer. I like your answer better.
Oh, HEMA's different, Plasma. HEMA is all combat. So whereas the Society for Creative Anachronisms is like, think of it like Civil War reenactors, dress up like the characters, eat like the characters, go and do combat like you believe that the characters would have done combat. That's SCA. HEMA is the HEMA stands for the Historical European Martial Arts. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's correct or not.
That sounds like
But
these.
Historical European something. And it is the practice of reconstructing and studying just combat techniques. It's
You're
just
not-
combat.
I've had that brought up in another interview. Someone else has
Yeah.
specifically mentioned HEMA, and I
My
can't
God.
remember who. I keep most of my
HEMA?
notes, so I want to find it.
HEMA is a vibe and a half, but it's dangerous. Most people are like, oh man, I want to do medieval combat. Until you read the regulations, you are only allowed to wear like medieval armor. So you have to wear padding and you have to wear metal, and they don't allow a lot of modern adjustments. Otherwise, you're disqualified. You can wear some, but not a lot. And you do use metal weapons. Like, you use actual weaponry, but they're blunt edged so that they don't slice you. It is very rules lawyery, and so you're gonna get smacked over the top of the head with not rattan, but a blunt steel pole arm stabbed into your chest can still pierce badly made plate mail, and people get very injured. It's like the rugby of medieval sports is what it is. It is absolutely the rugby of the medieval sports reenactment. But it's a lot of fun if you like swinging big weapons around, shouting at people, and smacking them repeatedly with like an axe over the head.
Okay, I think
However, violence.
violence.
You can get concussed, you can do a big broken,
Mhm.
and that's much less likely in LARP. So if you want to run around and swing big stick and shout fireball and have fun with less likelihood of breaking a leg, go
All the-
LARP. You're
All the
gonna
big
have a
stick and
fantasy
LARP are
experience.
heavily padded.
Yes, they're very padded. A guy who twisted his knee in HEMA? Ugh!
Whoa.
Ugh! Yeah, HEMA is rough.
Yeah.
Even, I would tell people to do SCA combat before they do HEMA. It will prepare you for the level of pain and suffering you will get in HEMA.
Yeah, that seems like
Do LARP first. The pipeline. LARP,
Yeah, I was gonna say
SCA,
Mm.
HEMA. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah. And
Have you ever done the combats, my good bean?
I did karate for, I think it was about 8 years through middle and high
Karate.
school, but never anything with, like, medieval weaponry or martial arts in that sense.
Oh, wow. Hot diggity dang. We're winning.
Mhm.
Winning out there.
The other interesting things you have in terms of studying the past, well, I guess there's two. But
Two?
you mentioned that you have a interest in cryptologic linguistics. And I guess that's not
No.
necessarily older languages, but that it can be cryptographs and such, and those were used to an extent in the early days.
So-
where does cryptologic linguistics come into play? How does that happen? That's a very specific thing.
Cryptologic linguistics is the science and study of analyzing and interpreting foreign languages and language communication. It's usually used for providing intelligence to military
Oh,
or
wait, that's right.
government
I'm mixing things up
organizations.
here. I'm mixing
Yeah.
things up.
Look, cryptologic linguistics is like you identify it's this language, you translate this language, but also you colloquialize it so that you take said language and you go, they're not actually talking about this. That's code for a bomb or something like that. And being a crypto linguist is specific for the military.
Yes, that's right. Sorry, I
speak
have that
many
list of things
languages.
that from things we discussed, and cryptologic linguistics was just a couple removed from reenactment. But now I'm realizing, that's right, because it was next to information system security and other things.
I do a lot of stuff.
You do.
I've lived a very varied life.
Yes, and
I'm a well-rounded nerd.
indeed, you also had the phrase "too many years in pre-geology."
I can't actually spoil this one too much because if you guys come to Riao's stream on Sunday, you're gonna hear all about why there are certain rocks you should actually lick. So, story time. In university, if I had taken geology like a year earlier, the geology class that I did, I would have switched majors. I love rocks, and not just because woman loves shiny thing. However, love shiny thing. I'm going to be doing. So Riao is doing an event where it's like Smarty Pants from Dropout TV. If you know Dropout TV.
Mm-hmm.
All of us are coming with a special interest and a PowerPoint prepared. I'm going to talk about
I
rocks.
love things like that. Yay!
It's so good. I have prepared a PowerPoint to teach you guys. This is going to be a crash course in geology and why you should lick rocks. So come and learn about licking rocks.
Don't kick rocks, lick
So
rocks.
geology core. Yes. You're not going to die if you lick a rock.
Probably.
You can lick a rock once. Learn more
At
geology,
least.
I can teach you some geology. I used geology to help me find water sources doing land nav. I've used geology to help me find the best spot to put my tent when camping so that it didn't get flooded during a rainstorm. I have used geology to help learn about soil composition for planting. Geology is such a useful scientific field to learn. Send me rocks. Yes.
Send
More
rocks.
rocks, please.
Yes.
You want the way to my heart? Shiny rock. You
Shiny
could
rock.
literally be like, hey Dee, I saw this pebble on the side of the road and it made me think of you and I will be so happy.
Do you have a Discord
Do you
channel
like
in your
rocks?
server for rocks?
We have it in the forums. In the
Yes, good.
Discord, there is a forum. I have to find what is it called right now. In the forums, hang on, rock. It's rocks and their special qualities
Ooh.
is what it is. Rocks and their special qualities is the name of the forum. We haven't posted in it in a little while, but we were using it to talk about why rock cool. But you could post it in nerd cred too, because you could be a geology nerd. That feels on brand. You could just be like, I know many things about rock. It's very useful because learning about rock means learning about minerals. Learning about minerals helps you learn about survival. It's very useful.
I had interest in geology when I was very, very little. It was, about the level of interest that I think it was first or second grade, and that I found some quartz in my backyard, and I was like, ooh, shiny rock in backyard, neat. I want to find more shiny rock, and unfortunately, there's not many good resources or opportunities when you're a kid to learn about rocks other than the most
That's
basic
a dang
of
dirty
books.
lie. Your parents could have helped show you about rocks and taught you how to identify them using the Mohs hardness scale. I'm gonna be a nerd for a moment.
I know what the most hardness scale is at the very least.
You can teach children how to identify rocks by utilizing the Mohs hardness scale and a cute little activity where you get to scritchety scratch things with lots of random materials. When I was itty bitty, for a present one year, one of my aunts, she's the one who has Bagel Mountain, you cuties, if you remember Bagel Mountain.
Bagel
Same
Mountain.
I will tell you about Bagel Mountain. Segue back to that, but same aunt she's a hoarder, a hardcore hoarder of the most unique and expensive things I've ever encountered. She has a customized industrial punk statue made entirely of recycled metal and copper of a woman walking a dog. She's got fur coats from all over the world and lots of cool jewelry. For a birthday present, she gave me a 24-karat diamond. It's in a little bag in a collection box I have. I took it to school for show and tell, and I was taught that diamonds are harder than glass. And during the recess hours, I brought it up to a window and I scratched the window. I drew a cat face on the window to prove that it was a real diamond.
Did the teachers find out, or were you able to keep it a secret?
The teacher was actually impressed that I remembered the lesson. She kept it and used that as a story, apparently, to teach the next
that's
class.
sweet.
She's like, you see this cat face right here? That was drawn with a diamond. And she took a picture of my little diamond, and she used that for the next year's class.
Nice.
I couldn't help myself. Serious, I couldn't help it.
They challenged her. They questioned the validity and the legitimacy of the diamond, so she had to. It was a matter of honor.
It was. I was like, are you lying to me? Is this shiny little rock so strong that it can cut glass? And what she told me after that was, you know what, Dee? If it hadn't cut glass, you would know that that's a fake diamond. Because like materials would have ground each other down. So your diamond would have been ruined. Like it would have started grinding itself away while you rubbed the point against the glass. And I was like, oh, so it is real. She's like, yep, it is real.
But that also means that you
diamond.
brought a very expensive show and tell thing to school.
That piece alone is worth at least, hang on, I have to look this up now. Worth of diamonds by gram. Because I know how many grams it is. Come on, internet, you can do it. I believe in you. Oh, okay. So, 24-karat diamond. Okay, so it is in the princess cut. It is 24 karat. It is, I don't know how to tell the color. Clarity is, it's huge. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, it's approximately $35,000 in a little rock.
Dee, you brought a car to school.
I brought a car to school.
You brought a down payment on a house. You brought more than a down payment on a house to school.
I didn't know.
You may have brought your teacher's salary to school.
And that was when I was itty bitty. With inflation, who knows how much this little rock is worth? Something I can hit.
Why did your parents let you do that?
Cease.
Did your parents even know that you did that? I can't imagine that if they would let you bring something that.
No, they didn't know. They didn't care. She gave me a birthday present, and they saw her give me a little envelope, and I was like, "This is the most beautiful thing ever." And she's like, "You can turn it into a necklace one day," and I still have it. And oh my God, I short-circuited him. Like I could turn it into something one day, and that's the goal. I'm like, this is a keepsake she gave me. I'll turn it into something one day. Bye, Azarios.
At least you didn't lose it.
Oh, bye, Alexander. Have a good one.
Bye.
Yeah, I didn't
Thanks for
lose
stopping
it.
by.
It's in a safe little box. All of the treasures that my aunts have given me are in a precious little box. Precious little box.
Rewinding for a moment, Donut Mountain.
Yeah, it's percentage diamond. Impurities, yep. And this one's a very pure small diamond. Remind you, you said?
Donut
Bagel Mountain?
Or sorry, Bagel Mountain, not Donut
Bagel
Mountain.
Mountain! My aunts are wonderful women and refuse to allow you to leave hungry. Ever. I went to Chicago to visit my aunts. And when we went by her house, I noted, hey, my lovely, sweet auntie, what's going on in your kitchen? She always has snacks everywhere. Tins of cookies, piles and plates of baked goods. She makes the meanest fudgy brownies with a crispy, thin, flaky top. And you can't leave this house without her giving you something before you go. She had Bagel Mountain on her kitchen table when we went to visit her. She's like, oh, I'm just getting together with some of the girls, so we're gonna do some bagels and schmear. And I'm like, you have like 5 girlfriends. How are you going to finish these bagels? There were, I kid you not, 7 dozen bagels piled up. Mountains. There were 2 peaks of bagels on the table. So many bagels.
Were these homemade
How long have
bagels,
they
or
been
did
there?
she go to the local bagel shop and just buy 7 dozen?
Yes, she buys local bagels. There's a bagel guy who makes halal bagels that she loves. Halal is the same thing as kosher, approximately. If you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know about clean environments and good ingredients. But she had a mountain of bagels, and I was like, "This is Bagel Mountain. We will never be able to climb all the carbs, but it's wonderful. It's amazing. Oh my God, it's glorious, and it smelled like heaven. But it was
Oh, yeah,
also the day she's
fresh
like, you're
bagels are
gonna
just-
leave my house without getting a snack." She gave us 10 bagels. It was me and 3 friends who I was traveling with. She gave us 10 bagels to take back to our hotel. I had been there because we were also there in town for my auntie's. We didn't know we'd be saying goodbye. We were visiting my aunt who was in the hospital. She passed away not too long after that. We were in town to see her for her birthday, and she gave us 10 bagels. She also had us fish through this bag. She had these 2 fabric bags on the ground. They were filled with booze. It was just bags of
What?
booze.
I guess I have to ask, what type of booze?
These
talking,
are
like-
girly beers, and we had like fruity drinks, all alcoholic in a bag. And she's like, "Oh, just take a few, honey. Take like 3." I'm like, "I'm not taking them, Auntie. We're driving." And she's like, "Oh, it's fine. You can have 1."
As long as you're not drinking it while driving, you couldn't have it at the hotel.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, you can crack one open here, honey." I'm like, "No, Auntie, no." She gave us like Nutri-Grain bars and then trail mix and then brownies. We couldn't leave. She was blocking the door. We can't leave until we accepted all of the offerings of the auntie. So we left with our arms laden with another bag of bagels, beer, and nougat.
And nougat?
Nougat.
I mean, I
Like
know what nougat
nougat
is.
treats.
That's not what I normally think of when being sent along with treats, and that's just what a fantastic combination of
It's so wild. Just
bagels,
nougat.
beer, and nougat. Because you're just like, okay, bagels, yeah, that makes sense. If it's just the bagels, being sent with just beer, okay, that makes sense. Bagels and beer is a little less common.
Bagels,
And then you add
beer,
nougat.
And then brownies. Accept the offerings or you will be trapped forever. She's like, "Are you hungry?" And we're like, no, we're not hungry.
Well,
It's
but you're
fine."
gonna
She's
get
like, "Oh,
hungry
just-"
in a little bit.
Yep, you're gonna get hungry in a little bit. When you're on the road, you
Mhm.
got a 30-minute drive. You know what's gonna happen? You'll be hungry and you'll have a
Mhm.
snack. You're like a bagel in a bag. And she was like, "You want
And
me
if
to
not,
slice
it's
the
breakfast
bagels
for
you?"
tomorrow. That you got
And she-
breakfast for tomorrow.
She put cream cheese on them and made bagel sandwiches and put them in snack baggies and then sent us on our way. It was wild. I love her. She never lets you leave without food, though. That was probably the most random assortment she's ever given me when I visited her. Previously, it was hot dogs. Like a cooked hot dog in a bun. She wrapped it in plastic wrap and put it in my purse. Before that, it was a salad. Because I was like, no, Auntie, I'm trying to watch what I'm eating. She's like, oh my God, I got
But also, now the
chop
purse is
suey
going
in
to
the
smell like a
fridge."
hot dog.
My purse smelled like a hot dog for a week and a half. But the salad was probably the weirdest. She wrapped it in plastic wrap and put it in a paper bowl. And I was like, Auntie, what? She's like, oh, it's farmer's chop suey. It's got a little bit of salmon. It's got all the things in there.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. If we've got salmon in there, that does sound good.
Have you ever had farmer's chop suey? So you know what chop suey is?
Yes.
So chop suey, the dish is like meat stewed with like bean sprouts, bamboo shoots, onions, served with rice.
Mm.
Farmer's chop suey is you take a whole bunch of vegetables, so different types of lettuce, cucumber, tomato, broccoli, olives, sprouts, cauliflower, radish sometimes. You take everything you've got that is a vegetable, peppers, you name it, put it in a bowl, top it with salmon or another fish, like tuna fish. Usually we spice it, mix it up with like mayo and spice, and then cottage cheese. It's no rice, it's just vegetables, cottage cheese, a fish. It's a salad. It's wild, but it's delicious.
Technically, anything that is just a combination of other things can be called a salad.
It's like Minnesota salad, but it's Auntie
Salad is a flexible term.
Salad is flexible. Oh, it sounds like Grandma. Oh, enjoy these things. You're gonna have to go and eat something delicious that Grammy would have made. You're gonna have to go and make something delicious in her honor. You remember her, love her from afar. Cheers to her memory and make something she would be proud of you and be like, oh baby, I'm glad that you made this. Like my grandma gave me a recipe for something, I don't know what it's called, but it's made with red cabbage, raisins, and honey and carrots. It's so weird, but it's so delicious. It's like crispy and has a very good mouthfeel. It doesn't taste too sweet or too bitter. I think it has vinegar in it.
I think I get the concept there. I've never had that, but that sounds, similar to the classic ants on a log, celery, peanut butter, raisins type of thing, where so you have the cabbage sort of replacing the celery, you still have the raisins, and then instead of the peanut butter for the sweetness, it's the honey for the sweetness. So I see where we're going conceptually here.
Right? Ugh, it can be so good. It really can be. Eat the borscht.
Eat the
yes. Oh my God, have you had white borscht? German white borscht?
No.
Oh my God, most people know of the beet stew borscht, but German white borscht, oh my God. It's made with sausage, bacon, eggs, horseradish, vinegar, and I think there's sour cream, and that's it. It is the heartiest soup you'll ever have. It'll clear your sinuses out like nobody's
I was gonna say we had horseradish in there, and that's sort of the wild card of you have to use the right amount of horseradish. It's one of those ingredients where if you use too much, the whole thing is ruined. But if you have just the right amount, it can be really good.
Yes, it's magic, and have it with a good hearty bread. Oh, delicious!
Yeah.
So good. Persimmon cookies. Oh my God. Oh man, Dean, you can find a recipe for this. My aunts have this is like tradition. If we have a loved one who passes, you have to make their favorite dish on the anniversary of their passing and remember them, because we want to be remembered in all walks of life for all the good things we left behind.
Yes.
So like I tell people about my Auntie Peppy. She was my great Aunt Peppy. She lived to be 98 years old, and she was still running marathons. Woman was a wildflower. Like, she had her hair in the big beehive bouffant style with, like, big old sunglasses And every spring she'd be like, I gotta go shopping for a new swimsuit because the boys at the senior center gonna be checking me out again. She was such fire. And she had this vivacity for life where every era she's like, remake yourself. She used to tell me, every decade, Dee, every 10 years you can remake yourself. You don't gotta be the same person twice. You can go be a brand new tomorrow. Slip on the new shoes. Wear the new dress.
Re-debut.
Re-debut every 10 years, baby! But she loved these cute little cookies that have like jelly in the middle. And every year we make them in the springtime just for her. And we like cheers the cookies together and go, to Peppy! Put a little pep in your step.
Aww,
so cute.
love that.
You gotta remember the good bits and pieces because they're still a part of you. That's your blood, that's your family, that's your lineage, and that's their legacy. Nobody wants to be forgotten.
Oh,
You can order them, Dean. You can order them online. You can get persimmon, or go to an Asian market.
And food is such a great way to remember people because just usually if you're eating food, it's happy, and if you're not happy when you're eating food, it's going to hopefully at least be comforting. And
there's that's a very Arabic way of thinking about guests. Like they tell you feed your guests. I think like it's also true in Italian culture too. And
yeah, I feel like
it's pretty universal. Feed your guests. Doesn't matter where they're from. Everything is better with food, and then do business. Food first. If your stew doesn't make you sweat, wheeze, and clean your silences, is it really stew? That's not borscht.
My grandmother on my father's side made an amazing banana bread. It's such a...
With or without nuts?
Without.
Okay.
And it is... I don't have the recipe on me. I know we have it written down. Like, it's at my house, at my childhood home, written on a cloth, like written on like a kitchen ditch cloth. And we also have it in a book, but it's also sort of displayed on a cloth. And it is such a simple recipe. I don't know it exactly, but whatever it is the most perfect banana bread I have ever had.
The ones written down on the most obscure surfaces are usually the best recipes.
And my grandmother on my mother's side made its cabbage and meatballs. And
tasty.
I don't know offhand what the ingredients are because it's not just, all right, you put some ground beef and cabbage. There's something in the sauce. I don't recall what it is, but it was the type of thing that I've never tasted anything like it to this day. It is just that recipe, and that we have that one as well. And we make it usually once, twice a year, because she only made it once, twice a year because she didn't like how long it took to make them.
No?
Because it was very time intensive, so she would only make it for special occasions.
I know what it's like, but man, it's so nice when you put in the effort to make something delicious and then you get to enjoy it. If I think about it though, all of my aunts, they have a specialty and it's something sweet. So my aunt, Bagel Mountain aunt, she is actually one of a twin. Her twin makes this sweet cinnamon cheesy noodle dish. It's supposed to be like a meal.
Cheese.
Yeah, it's layers of noodles, cottage cheese, and regular cheeses with cinnamon and raisins in the... And I can't describe it. It's very good. It's like something between a cake and a pudding. But it's supposed to be meal-based. She's like, trust me, this is something you can eat for a meal. And I'm like, it tastes like candy. It tastes like a cake. I think you're lying.
I've had this before, and I'm trying to remember what it's called.
I don't know what it's called, but it's a noodle dish.
It's not a quiche. Kugel?
It's not a quiche, no.
No.
Kugel! Yeah. That sounds familiar enough. I believe it.
That's what's ringing a bell in my head right now.
Yeah, it's a baked noodle pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good. It's really good. But she makes that. Bagel Mountain Aunt makes the best brownies, and they're so easy. They're 2 different box mixes, Betty Crocker.
Oh man, wait.
she just combines them.
No, the
then-
real hack is
Mm.
the Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookie recipe, the one just on the back of the bag, but it's not cookies.
Make
Put
it
it
in
in
the
a brownie
brownie,
pan.
like
You make
blondies.
blondies, yeah, just,
Yes, make
like,
blondies.
They are better as blondies than cookies, and I will die on this hill.
Oh my god, it's the baking method. The baking method does everything. When I was studying abroad in Japan in my second year of university, we had to do a project that required us to survey our fellow study abroaders for our midterm project, and mine was about the different types of cookies. We just had to be able to do it in a foreign language. That was the goal. So I made the 16 most popular cookie recipes, and the common denominators were all the same. It was like different ratios. It was the same ratios of ingredient. It was just how they were combined and how you baked them. And the baking method had the most like difference. And I made a cookie a piece and had people fill out a survey about the cookies. They were like, "This is the best project of the year."
Oh,
But
yeah.
the
'cause
baking
it-
method makes all the difference.
Oh,
in
yeah.
how buttery, and how smooth, and how much crunch it's got.
The other thing is the time of
Yes, time
you-
cooking.
you undercook brownies by like 3 minutes. That makes sure they're still gooey inside. The heat will it'll at that point, make sure that the eggs and everything are cooked through. That you're past the point
Put
of
on
having
the
to worry
pan.
about like foodborne stuff already. But it doesn't. If it gets too much, it's then cakey and dry. You want that good gooey center.
The goop. Give us the goop. Oh man, now I'm hungry.
I know.
want a
I'm so
bagel.
sorry. What have we done? What have we done?
I need a bagel. That's what I'm like. Is there a bagel place near me? Hang on.
Is there like
Is there a bagel place near me? And when does it close? Because if it's closed.
yeah, most bagel
on.
places like I feel like a good bagel place closes at 2 p.m.
I need a 24-hour bagel place.
The good bagel places are the ones that are so good that they only need to be open during breakfast and brunch hours to stay in business.
I found a place that has bagels. I need to go order them now.
Well,
Oh,
but
it's a
how
place
good are
called
is it? Is it good bagels though? Because I'm not getting like grocery store bagels. It has to be like bakery bagels.
Wait, I've never seen this place before. It also does donuts, but they have pondering.
Okay, that's
they have pondering
promising.
there.
Mm.
すごいじゃないか。欲しい。Oh my god. I need to know. Do they have? They do. Okay, I might have to grab myself a bagel. It's bagel time.
Bagel time.
Toodles, I gotta get bagel.
Oh well, that's the
bagel
show,
time.
everybody. Sorry, cancel for bagels. Good night. Bye.
Yeah, no, did you have any other questions for Dee?
Oh, I have so many questions.
So many questions? Okay, are you okay if I order a bagel?
Please, by all means.
Aw, heck yeah.
Because also, I asked you this when we spoke last week, but like I said, I'm a little brain scrambled today. I forgot. Did you have a specific time that you needed us to be done? I cannot remember.
No.
Okay.
I said I could give like about 2.5 hours-ish.
Okay.
Would be comfortable for
Mhm.
Dee.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they got mochi donuts. They got the pondering.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so ordering those.
So you probably haven't heard it because you aren't listening to the actual stream, and the only place I have it is there. But the BGM I've been using is a playlist of Legend of Zelda music.
Legend
Because
of
I
Zelda
couldn't
win.
not. Because
Oh, but
you
it
are a
could be.
big fan of Legend of Zelda, and
I
you
am.
are a member of the Hyrulean Historians.
I am that much of a nerd. Those of you who don't know what the dang Hyrulean historians are, big Zelda nerd. We're the group that every time a new Legend of Zelda comes out, we scramble to decipher the language, the alphabet, before any official sources come out and see if we're right. And we post it all over on like Reddit, and there's a few websites that our members post on. But that's the Hyrulean Historians. We're also chronicling all of the different story loopholes that remain in the Legend of Zelda universe that could be used for a future game or used to explain other things here and there. But these are also fanfic writers, so they come up with the craziest headcanon, and it's very fun to watch their brains get to work.
What is your favorite headcanon that you full-heartedly believe, that you read that and you say, oh yes, that makes sense, like, I'm all in on this?
Ooh! That fierce deity originated at the end of Ocarina of Time, moving into the story of Majora's Mask. That fierce deity is actually another entity that was lost in the woods and is something that Link becomes while he's in the forest and then interacts with a whole different society before Termina.
Ooh.
In the adult timeline only.
Mm.
I feel like that's one of the weirdest headcanons that I really like, and I can get on board with it. Because there is a story out there about the origins of Fierce Deity, which you see the mask of in Majora's Mask. But then it's like, how did it get there? He's supposed to be the bad guy? No! He's some kind of white-eyed warrior who's seen the horrors. He's seen the demons. But where he come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Where'd this guy exist? And we know that our boy Link transcends time and space with his abilities. So why couldn't that be part of it? Oh! But then there's the original custodian of time. So sometimes the Nintendo crew doesn't, kind of like the ancient hero skeleton from Twilight Princess. Similar story, just different ending. Because one of those is Majora's Mask Link wanders forever in the Lost Woods after Majora's Mask and becomes a skeleton guy, one of the... not Skulltula. He becomes a Stalfos and then comes back to teach Link in Twilight Princess as part of another headcanon. But there's like... sometimes the Nintendo crew likes to put... what's it called? They like to put lore in their manga. So you have to not only play the game, but read the manga. So there is manga for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And in Majora's Mask, you see the story of Majora. The story of Majora is this giant dragon monstrosity that was rampaging through like eons and rampaging through space and time. And there's this warrior that steps through what appears to be nowhere to come and put an end to this monster. And he's like, you're here to try to kill me too? Look around you, warrior. Look at the ground here. You see all the armor. You see all the weapons. So many more have come before you to try and slay me because they believe my blood will give them everlasting life, that my skin is the greatest armor that they could ever make. And they're like, they've never succeeded. Where do you think you'll succeed? And he's like, I'm not actually here for that. I'm pretty tired. I would love to hear more of your story, though, if you'd just allow me to rest a bit. And he's like, oh, really? So he yammers on, he monologues this big dragon monstrosity who's like bleeding from all these open wounds. And then the time traveler is sitting on this little drum that he brought with him. And he's like, it sounds like you've been through a hell of an ordeal. Would you allow me to soothe your woes and play for you a song? And in the manga panels, when they're zooming in on different parts of his character, you see in his hair, he has a feather from the dragon in Wind Waker.
Oh.
You see on his belt, he has a charm that is later put into Hyrule Warriors. You see his cloak is the one from Breath of the Wild. They reuse the pattern. All bits and pieces of this guy are bits and pieces of Link from every game. And it's like, this is my favorite, by far, version of Link. The side canon here that people are, it's speculative, not canon, is that this is alternate universe Link. That from going back and forth in time, he inadvertently split himself, and this is the version that's still stuck in the sacred realm. So he's stuck moving between realms, and he picks up pieces of himself along the way. Yeah, traveler, why does time not flow here? Yeah! You remember this one?
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. The story is worth reading, but look at the details of his costume. There's bits and pieces of every Link that ever existed, and the supposed it's not canon, it's supposition only, is that Link's fractured himself by existing in too many different worlds and has created this traveler, and all he does is clean up after the unfinished business. And he's the reason Majora's Mask even started, because he needed to put an end to the rampaging monster. But the reason he's able to wander through time is supposedly, or potentially, because the first fragment came from the original hero chosen by the goddess during the Battle of Demise. So if you know anything about Legend of Zelda lore, all of this started because the Demon King wanted to invade the plains of Earth, and Hylia, the goddess, was like, "Nuh-uh, sir, I'm gonna fight you with my human warriors." And one warrior was her chosen champion, and at the very end, they're all cursed by Demise to be reborn over and over and over again. And it is said that being chosen by the goddess and blessed by her, here's the speculation, is what creates this traveler who is now basically going through dimensions now, unable to die. He wanders the dimensions cleaning up after the mess left by Link.
Whoa.
It makes for such a cool canon though, right?
Yeah.
Like, the possibilities of lore are endless! I love the lore.
From a sheer
such a lore
gameplay
hound.
standpoint, so lore aside, what is your favorite Legend of Zelda game, and what is your least favorite? And least favorite does not
Ooh.
mean that you dislike it. It's just, the one that is like, okay, this is one that I feel like had the most potential that was perhaps a little unrealized.
Okay, favorite game is subjective.
Oh, yes, for
Favorite
sure. I'm not
game-
saying what is the best. I'm saying what is your
Yeah.
favorite.
Favorite for sheer story and depth is probably Ocarina of Time. I think it's the saddest Legend of Zelda game ever written when you look at it objectively, from the fact that this is a boy who lost his entire childhood, had to be frozen in time and grow up, save a kingdom, remembers doing so, and is then stripped of his purpose, and is doing so alone. Like, I learned to love the character Navi, even though she is annoying as heck the third time you play. She's the only person who sticks with him throughout his entire adventure and will remember what they went through together, because she was there the whole time.
Ooh, I
No
never
one
even thought of it
remembers
from
what
the
he
memory
did.
perspective, that Navi is the only one that remembers everything.
Navi is there at the end telling him, like, go and say your goodbyes, because they make this pact. It's like, we've saved the kingdom, now what? She's like, we'll go find a place where we belong, and it doesn't have to be here. But then she leaves his side, so he gets lost in the Lost Woods. But so from a story side and depth, Ocarina of Time. From mechanics, fun, and my favorite character, Twilight Princess, because
Yes!
I love that friggin' short stack. We are talking about Zelda. Were you triggered? Welcome. I'm talking about Zelda.
Twilight Princess
But
is
then-
probably my favorite Zelda game, and I think
God.
it has
It's so
that.
good.
For me, it's close between Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild. They're
Breath of the
very,
Wild!
they're very different, so it's hard to compare them. But the one thing I firmly believe about Twilight Princess,
Mhm.
I think it has the best final boss sequence throughout the franchise, and is one of the best
Yeah.
final boss sequences in gaming. The
The build up to
sequence
the final
of-
boss is just so good.
possessed Zelda of just, holy cow, I need to potentially
well,
harm
you.
Zelda. Like, that's
Oh no.
kind of harrowing in and of itself. Then you have Beast Ganon. And okay,
Yeah.
you get in his true primal form, and that you defeat him, and Midna makes this heroic sacrifice. Castle Hyrule is destroyed, explosion, the whole massive structure, and it's one of the best Hyrule castles also. And then the dust clears, and what do you mean that Ganondorf is still alive, rearing
Yep.
up on a horse and crushing Midna's mask? What a moment. Then you have the
It's so
horseback,
cool.
and then the final proper sword fight.
I do appreciate Breath of the Wild for the expansive world and it being so brain off is a good way to put it. Breath of the Wild is the happy space game. You put it on in the back room to sleep or the background sleep and study to the music. You can just go and parkour in any direction, and that freedom plus familiar gameplay and characters makes it very relaxing for me. I like Breath of the Wild for that. But the drama of Twilight Princess, especially that dang ending, the Mirror Realm, I'm still mad that we didn't get confirmation in Breath of the Wild 2 that they were going back to the Mirror World. I want more Midna.
Yes.
She was a character that deserved a sequel. I know they've never done that, but gosh, I would love it. Breath of the Wild is absolutely such a comfy game, I agree. But man,
and I think it's
wanted
interesting
more Midna.
I've never thought of Breath of the Wild as a comfy game because I feel it's a very desolate game, and that's the point. That it's a comfy game in the sense of it is, you're right, you can do the parkour and everything, but that emotionally you're alone. Everyone else is dead.
It's gone.
Gone, and you have this, and it is even darker in Tears of the Kingdom because it is, all right, you almost saved everything, and now it's going wrong again, but worse. And that one of my favorite and most emotionally resonant moments of playing Zelda in especially the past 10 years, what's the ice dragon in the Rito Colgera, the
Which
ice
game
dragon.
are you talking about?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Nadra? Oh, Tears of the Kingdom. Ice dragon? Not
Colgera.
Nadra? The three dragons?
No, it's the boss from the Rito sky ship.
Oh, okay. So the sky ship. So Van Meadows, Divine Beast, Windblight, Ganon.
No, because that's Breath of the Wild.
What? Okay, we're talking Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, Colgera.
Okay. Who? Oh, Colgera. Okay, I played Tears of the Kingdom once and it made me mad, and I've written it out of my brain.
That's fair. I had mixed feelings about Tears of the Kingdom.
Ugh, the Minecrafting was cool, but it made it so easy to beat the final boss, and I was like, this battle feels
there was a
weak.
couple.
I'm also mad what they did to our wife. How dare my wife?
But the thing for Colgera, in that boss fight, when you get to the final phase, you get the Dragon Roost Island theme in a dissonant key, and that geographically, Dragon Roost Island is approximately where the Rito village is, because even in Wind Waker, that the Rito are on Dragon Roost Island, and that the whole thing is when you are facing Colgera, that entire region is covered in snow. Everything is frozen, and the big struggle is because everything is frozen over, nothing can grow, there's no crops, people are freezing, and when it hits that big dissonant note of da 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 da, that I had this shiver go down my spine with the realization of, oh, this thing killed all the Rito. This thing killed a civilization and reduced a full region to a wasteland. There are a dozen survivors of this entire society. And this thing froze and choked an entire region to death.
They're dead! They're dead! Everybody's dead!
It's not just one of the bosses that is, it's in a dungeon and it's protecting a valuable item. No, this thing is a living natural disaster that has killed countless.
There's something so beautiful in tragedy. And I feel like stories that add a little bit of that, it's honestly the reason why I'm so dang addicted to Lads and why it's such a good game, is because it adds a level of yearning for something peaceful. Stories that don't have that element of loss feel hollow.
Mhm.
And it's a very much a lesson to we need suffering in order to appreciate good things. How silly is that?
You need there to
Sometimes
be
we
stakes
have
at the
to
very
suffer.
least of just, you need to believe there is a
Suffer.
chance for loss if there isn't loss.
Suffer. Know that there's a risk.
Mhm.
One shot and near fans? Yes! Tia? Yes! Have you ever played One Shot?
I have not.
Oh my god. Okay.
And also,
I'm about to introduce you
also
to one of the
haven't played
greatest
Nier.
games you can find on Steam. One Shot is a wonderful game within a game. One Shot is a game that is not quite a game. The game is listening to you. The game is watching you. And the premise of the game is you find this game on Steam.
Oh,
and you
it's
open it up.
that one,
And-
that meta one.
It's very meta. One Shot is you find this adorable little character and you can move them around their world. And this character wants to go home. And you're not sure how to get them home. But what you know is that they have this... You find an object in the very beginning of the game. And the thought process is if you bring it to the center of the world, you learn slowly but surely, you can save the world and you can send them home. But at the very end, I'm not going to give it away, there's a decision you end up having to make. You only get one shot to play this game and do it right. You get one shot to save the world, to send them home. The yellow orb, the one that you see in the promo. Yep.
And I forget,
And as you-
afterwards, it either hard saves or it deletes.
Yes. And you can open it back up once you've beaten the game. Things get weird. It is worth playing. It's phenomenal. Oh my god, I might replay it. The story is gripping and heartfelt and leaves morality. It's like, do you cast morality to the wind? It's such a story. And again, worth playing, 1000% worth playing. Cannot recommend it enough. But you only get one shot. And it's like when you get to the moment where you have to make your choices. It's like, oh god, I only get one shot. Everything falls apart if I do this wrong. Or everything goes very well, I think.
Oh, just like real life. Oh, that's uncomfortable.
Just like real life. The indie RPG Maker games, they do have such a good story. I feel like that's a future goal of mine. Well, I don't know about you. So being a fellow thespian who loves doing silly willy voices, have you ever wanted to be in a video game?
I've always wanted to voice act, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. I think that's every thespian, like VTuber's dream, is to get to use your voice in a video game.
Yeah.
But it's like, what kind of game would you like to have your voice in? I don't think people ever ask that question.
That's
Because it's like, oh yeah, I want my voice to be in a thing, but what kind of role would you like to play?
So there's two ways to ask this question, and my answer changes depending on how you ask it.
Okay.
What role or what type of role the villain. Villains always get the best
Yes,
dialogue. They always get to do the
villainy!
most
Do
fun voices.
crime!
No offense, but the hero voice is, all right, I'm the shonen protagonist.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna,
very, "Don't
I
worry,
believe in
guys,
my friends.
We can do this
We
with
can
the
do
power
this."
of friendship. Yeah.
No, but
Those dastardly bad guys.
the villains get so much more fun.
Exactly.
They get to do
When
things
you
with
get
their
to
voice
be
that
the
are a bit
villain.
more unnatural. They get the big monologues. They get to do the fun things. But if you were to ask,
on.
what game do I want to be in, or what type of game
Mhm.
I want to be in, and it's just, if I have to choose, and it's regardless of the role.
There's some
the-
amazing. So, do you know of Screencraft?
I do not.
Screencraft is a site, and sometimes they post blog stuff and news stuff, but they've got some really good scripts for. Oh my god, as well as Cooley has some wonderful voice acting scripts for villain scripts and villain monologues, same with voices.com. But oh my god, there's such good, like, emotionally moving evil. Why don't good guys get that emotionally
I know,
moving?
It's a writing problem, frankly. It's because the hero is meant to be something that the player can self-insert on, so they can't write it to be
Yep.
too specific. Or at the very least, if it is something specific,
yeah.
it's a very particular type of story. And that, generally speaking, especially for a video game where you are the character, that it's easier to write good heroes and good hero dialogue in non-interactive mediums. Because then at least you're not necessarily meant to one-to-one identify or think of yourself as the hero, but it's much more difficult in games. And the answer to what type of game I would want to have a voice in, I want to be in the game that doesn't have voices. If I could choose, I would want to be in a Pokemon game.
A Pokemon game? Would you want to be a creature?
I just love Pokemon in general. It's such a big part of my childhood that if I could choose one series to have my voice in, I would want it to be in Pokemon, but that's a personal one. But what about you, Dee? What role would you want, and what one game would you want your voice in?
Oh, I would love to be a villain. That would be so much fun. Villains have all the fun. But I think I would also like to take an opportunity to try and play, like, the girl next door, the super happy main character, because doing that role well is also a skill, and I don't think I have it, so it would be a nice challenge. But I like creature voices. When I was doing my my lore video, I did all the voices, including the little creature voices for the cuties. So in the background, I had to think to myself, what are my cuties gonna sound like? And I just ended up making these cute little noises for them. It was such fun. Just little guys with cute little sounds. I like being the creature, and I like roles that are vocally challenging. And I feel, why not both? The girl next door that is also the villain. Oh my god,
twist
that's
villain
an anime
who's next
waiting
door
to
all
happen.
along.
That's my next door neighbor is actually the big bad villain. That's an anime waiting to happen. Which reminds me,
the question is,
I
do
have
you
an anime
know
idea.
that the girl next door is the big bad villain from the outset, or is that the twist at the end, or like?
No, that's
at
gotta be the outset. This is a slice of life. I can see it now. It would be so good.
Have you seen what is it? Love After World Domination.
Hang on, it sounds familiar, but let me. Love After World Domination.
Red Ranger falls in love with the villain army general.
Oh yeah, it's so cute. It was a 12 episode series. It was adorable,
Yeah,
and they were
it's
like,
also a manga, and
she's the-
that's
oh my
you know,
God.
if you want girl next door who's also
It's
a
so
villain
cute.
from the outset, that's the series.
Ooh, I love that. It's so good. But I had an anime concept that we came up with when we were doing that I still want to reach out to some people and make it happen, because I think this would be a great fan project or original animatic. Maybe not a full-on anime, but original animatic done by VTubers. And it's I was isekai'd, turned into a dungeon, and I'm stuck with a hot, sexy woman is the big bad. Wait, I can't even remember the
Wait,
title
are
for
you-
this.
Making sure
Does
I understood
anyone
this right. You
remember
are the
what we
dungeon
titled this?
itself.
Yes, it's like in another world I've become a dungeon and I'm trapped with the big bad who's also a hot sexy woman. It's one of those super long titles, but the premise is you are isekai'd from dying from being overworked, and you're just this office guy who dies from overworking, and he wakes up as the walls of a dungeon. Think like I've become a vending machine in another world,
Yeah,
which is
but you're
also
a
surprisingly
dungeon.
cute, right? But you become the walls of a dungeon, and in the center of the dungeon is this like frozen hottie, and she was the big bad, and she's been waiting for eons for a hero to walk into the chamber so that she can be unfrozen, because this is like an RPG dungeon. She's been stuck there forever, and she can talk to you. So you get to communicate with Frozen Hottie, and you get to learn about your dungeon powers and manipulate the walls of the dungeon and change traps in the dungeon and interact with heroes.
So
And
are you
she can hear
incentivized
you.
to help heroes get to her? Do you want her to be freed, or do you
Yes.
want to keep her from being freed?
And that's part of the story, is learning, is she actually bad, or was she just programmed that way? Is that her lot in life?
Programmed that way,
And eventually
okay.
that's like the twist of the story, which is I don't actually want them to set you free because they're going to kill you. And she's like, let me fulfill my divine evil purpose. This is what I was made for. And you're like, but no, my wife. And then you fall in love and you want to keep her captive forever, so then you become Yandere Dungeon.
Oh yeah, oh my
Or
gosh.
you look for another way to set her free without letting them kill her. So then you become the big bad. Then it's the dungeon that's out to kill everyone.
I love
like,
that.
That as a premise would be
That's so good.
Right? Oh, I'm just like, my hot evil villain wife? Yes, more of that. You'll have to catch the VOD. Meetings, no! Take care, Munchmeister! Have a good one,
Munch.
Oh my god. But I'm like, I want to make this. I want this to be a thing where it's like, oh my god, I can't move my legs. I don't have any legs. The moment of fear, the moment I'm a wall. I've become a wall. And then the end of the first episode, the cliffhanger is you hear the lovely, sultry voice of the evil big bad villainess. And yes! Would your villain wife open up your head and absorb your powers? Maybe. I don't know. You're a wall! Anything is possible. It's anime. We are anime. It could be anything.
We are anime. Do you have a favorite anime? I know
Favorite
that's
anime
probably the
of
most
all
difficult
time?
question I've
Skip
asked
Beat.
tonight. Ooh.
Skip Beat.
Answer right
Have
away.
you ever seen it?
I know of Skip Beat. I have not seen Skip Beat. Very good kettle.
Thank you. I love Skip Beat. It's so good. It's the perfect, in my opinion, blend of comedy, romance, and subtle slice of life while also being career-driven MC. Oh, it's nom 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 nom. Gochiso-sama. I could eat 3 bowls. It's so good. It's so good. The
How
voice
long is it?
acting, top tier. The comic is still ongoing and it's pissing me off. Hang on.
Oh my gosh.
Skip Beat is up to, hang on, how many chapters? Chapter is right now up to 300 something in chapters, but they stopped it after like the first 20 some episodes, which were all phenomenal. If I become a millionaire, you guys, I'm going to reach out to the studio and ask them to keep making more. Because I need to see it all animated. It's just it's so good. It's still going. Last I checked, hang on, latest Skip Beat chapters.
The thing is, the anime was a while ago, so there's no way they got even
Yeah.
close to the end.
No way. It stopped right before the next arc when they were doing period drama work. Oh, it's so good. It's on Viz. And let's see. Manga number 50, volume 50 is out.
Volume
No,
50,
it's more
so
than
that
50.
well, 50 volumes means you have like 6-7 chapters per volume.
Yeah. Is it? There's 51. There's more than that. There's so many more than that. give me a list of the Skip Beat manga.
I think you're looking for Skip Beat manga chapters, not volumes.
Skip Beat. Yeah, they've got... Volume 51 cannot be the latest. How many chapters? Skip Beat chapters. Looking... October 7th. Here we go. Latest release was... 333, 4 months ago. There's been a pause. Ooh. Was that it? Hang on, let me see. Skip Beat manga ending. Did they finish it? There has not concluded. Okay, it's still going. Yippee! It's still going. No pause, champ. It's still going. It's still going.
But it's been
They're just
going
probably on a
since
hiatus.
2002. It is
Yeah.
23 years old. The anime
We've
was
been
in
waiting
2008.
23 years for them to date, and that kind of slow burn is too slow. Let them kiss right now. No pause, champ. Let them kiss right now. Let them hold hands. As lewd as that is, let them do it. What about you? What is your favorite?
Code Geass.
Code Geass. Ooh, the political drama.
I like smart
flair.
characters doing smart things, and Lelouch is a very good smart character. The ending
good
of the
smart
series, I think, like the last 4 episodes, Chef's Kiss, that's how you end a series. Really, really good. Other one that I'm a big fan of that I think is very underrated is called Bakano.
Bakano? I saw that ages ago.
It is, in
It's
my opinion,
good.
the best
train
non-linear
one.
storytelling media ever. Yes,
Yeah.
you are correct. The Flying Pussyfoot. That is the name of the train. I am not making that up. But it's 16 episodes. It's 13 plus 3 OVAs, and I say that the OVAs are required. That it wraps up the story in a way that is much, much better than just the 13. If you only watch the first 13, it's not in my top 5 anime of all time. With the ending that you get from 14, 15, 16, that's what ties it off perfectly.
Gosh. Such beautiful storytelling. It reminds me I need to rewatch Code Geass.
They
like the
promised
OG
us so much
Fullmetal
more, and they've
Alchemist?
given us 2 side series, and they were good, but they promised us, they were like, oh, we have a 10-year plan, and they were like, oh yeah, no. Oh, okay, so releasing 2 miniseries over 10 years, I guess that qualifies as a 10-year plan. I want them to do more.
There's so many good stories out there that deserve either expansion on the world itself being so good that they built, or that it was like, I just want more from the great world that they built. I want to see more from the world building. There is one that I'm thinking of. It's not Eden. Shoot. They made a sequel, but it wasn't that good. I'm remembering there's an anime about an alien girl with like jelly wings and a guy who can surf on energy and a big stompy robot. And I can't remember what it's called, but I remember it having a great story. It was like Eve's? No. Oh gosh, what was it? I'm gonna have to look it up. But it was an anime that I very vividly remember from childhood, and I think about it now and then and go, that was a great story, but what in the ever-loving heck was the name of this? And I forget.
There's
And
an
this
anime about
reminds
that,
me-
of seeing an anime that changed your life and you can't remember
it's
what the
got a
name is. That
main
one's called Anime
character
Gatari.
is like a main character girl has like
Eureka
green
7?
hair. Eureka 7!
Eureka
Thank
7,
you!
yeah. I've not seen that
Thank
one. I know
you!
people who swear by it. I have
Double
heard nothing but
championing.
good things about that series.
It's really good. It's... Ugh. Yeah. UFOs, aliens, fighting the government, combined with, I think... Like, how many episodes do they have it? There was also, like, an alternate universe. It was very different, and they screwed it up. Just like what happened with Furikuri in all of its iterations. I think they screwed it up after the original, which was a trip and a half.
I watched
Oh,
the
man.
original Furikuri for the first time at about 1,
Yeah?
2 a.m. with friends. I don't remember most of it because I was so dead tired.
Yeah.
And I just remember that it's an acid trip. I should probably
It
watch
is.
it again sometime when I'm mildly mentally coherent. But at the same
There
time,
are-
in some ways, I feel like watching that series when you're not mentally coherent is kind of almost the design. I don't know. Because it's a wild one.
There are a couple of series that I feel like are great just because no one really knows what they're about, and they strike up such good conversation. So while I also agree with the love of a story where smart people do smart things, holy crap, it's nice when a story can just be interpreted multiple ways. I like the
Oh, yeah.
mind expansion moment.
Do you have any that really fit that for you?
Okay, Furikuri was definitely one of them, but there is, again, obscure, I think it was a movie. Hang on, anime, movie, Eden? There's also Metropolis. I think it's
I
Eden
know
of
of
the
that
East.
one, I've not
I
seen
don't
it.
think it's Eden of the East. Metropolis is a trip and a half. Cute robot girl. The song, I can't stop loving you as the world falls apart. Old school Akira. Hang on. Movie
Have you seen
about people who
Vivi
become
Fluoride Eyes
trees.
song?
What is this called? This is an. I'm looking for. I don't remember this name of it. Okay, it's called Origins: Spirits of the Past. It's so weird. Oh, Haibane Renmei is another one. Ergo Proxy, yes, but
seen
Origin.
Tatami Galaxy?
Origin is a movie where people transform into trees and they fuse with the forest. It's post-apocalyptic, and it's so wild. It's like in a post-apocalyptic world, the forest is sentient because of, like, there were weird things in the water, and because there were weird things in the water, nature mutated and finally revolted. It's like
okay.
Earth is a plant-strewn wasteland because the environment was destroyed by humans, so ecocide. And their trees were genetically modified to try and save the planet. And Japan is a dystopia ruled by the forest.
Yep.
And then it's
Humans are the virus.
Yeah. There's druids that control the nation's water supply. And the whole story is like, there's these people, again, fighting the government, but it's such a trip and a half. And they're trying to help some girl figure out some mission, and I couldn't tell you why. It's just wild. Yeah. The forest burns down for thunder. The forest is people. God, stuff like that. Stuff like that.
So, this is something that you had mentioned earlier, and sort of wrapping back, because I want to make sure that I get to this before we have to end.
Oh.
You mentioned both here and on your stream earlier today that you are going to be doing a lot of singing in the future, that you are
Yes.
And that's something that you are delving into, not for the first time, obviously, but that you are making part of your content, and you're planning on doing a cover per month for the next year.
Yes. So this year is going to be Dee's year of music, and my happenings will be once a month. Oh my god, brain. Once a month, I am going to be releasing some kind of music. If not, it'll be at least one song release, if not more. Because these cuties here have told Dee that they really, really, really like me doing music, and they want me to believe that I can sing. And I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. I will believe them for right now, and we'll see where I get in 1 year. So 1 year of music, releasing a song, at least one, every single month, and we'll see how far we get. Because if we don't get anywhere and Dee does not become like a more well-known musician, that's okay. I can say I tried it, and I won't feel bad. And if we do get somewhere, holy crap, I can now do more music, and I won't be able to deny that people like it. So we'll see where we get. This is Dee trying to take a chance and just do something.
Yeah.
This month music, I will release a single song this year. No, we're releasing way more than one. Way more than one, and some months are getting multiple music. It's already in the works. It's already in the works. Please, don't jinx me like that. No, we have one song already released. We had the cover with the girlies, and we had our MV for Dee's first ever commercial project, Love is a Monster. I wrote the lyrics and the melody for that song. If you haven't yet, please check it out. I think we did a good job.
Send me the link for that.
Yes.
My chat will bonk links because of the auto mod, but if I send it, it'll be all right.
Okay, let me give you.
And have you announced any of the other songs that you'll be covering, or are those all secret until they actually get released?
No, it's secret until it happens. Secret until it happens. So this is the song. It's my first ever commercial project. It's for a spicy game, but it's an indie game company that's very they're schmecks positive. They are all about promoting safe schmecks, even in a monster boinker style environment. I love the team. The story is great. I got to play through nights 1 and 2. So I got to see the story unfold. It's got time loops and stay alive tropes and hot monster women.
I mean, I'm sold.
And as a voice actress,
this sounds great.
As a voice actress aspiring, it's also good to listen to people in the spicy scene, do spicy audio, because it's quite difficult to make spicy audio sound good. Anybody thinks they can moan on a microphone. Not everyone moans well or makes weird sloppy noises well enough so that it's not gross, but it is still alluring. It is an art form to make those sounds, and it's something that Dee is I wonder if I could do that. Yeah, you got right in time.
Axis, thank you for the raid. Also, for some reason my alert box is broken. I don't know why. I need to figure that out.
It's me.
It was working.
I broke it.
Quite possible.
Me. I have this effect on things. It's the scuff. Honey, welcome to Dee. I will scuff up everything. Yeah. But it was a fun project. Tomo Aries did the instrumental. We worked together to make it magic. And Tomo even added her vocals secretly. They're hidden under the layers. Layers of Tomo. She does such good work. I want her to blow up, become big famous musician already. Do it right now.
Also, don't say aspiring voice actor. You are a voice actor, period.
No, I haven't been in any paid projects.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Here's my wall. Here's my.
This is something
it has to happen, or I don't believe it. So I believe for
actually
anything, from what you do, I believe that you cannot, or you are not yet a seasoned professional, or cannot claim to be a professional unless you are actively being paid for that work. So that's part one. When it comes to music, I'm if I get over 10,000 views on a piece of work that I've created and people like it, or if I'm making money off of streaming platforms from it, then I am now a professional in music. I'm actively being paid, not passive.
You just hit the actual answer. You
and
have
then
it. So
it's the voice acting part.
Nope.
It has to be the same. You are doing a character.
There's another
voice
word.
That
there was
you get
another word, and you
for.
used the right word.
What?
So this is something. I have friends who are in the voice acting industry who have booked many parts. And one thing I have heard from them and from casting directors is don't put aspiring in your bio. If you are acting, regardless of if you are being paid for it or not, you are a voice actor. That if you put aspiring, that you are less likely to be taken seriously by directors and your peers. The difference, and you use the word, that it is not misrepresentation to say you are a voice actor before you have been paid. The phrase that you use...
you have to get paid.
The phrase
you have to be paid.
Is professional. You're not a professional voice actor until you're paid.
That.
You
You're
are a
not
voice
okay.
actor before you are paid. You take
You
out
know
the
what?
word aspiring. You don't put the word professional on
Okay.
yet. That's
I
the
think
difference.
I think I can agree, and what's the word I'm looking for? Step back to secede the point. That one. On that. I think I can for the making the differentiation to say anyone can voice act, but not everyone can be a professional voice actor.
Yes.
That I can agree with that. That one, okay. I would just feel bad.
So take
I
aspiring
would feel
out
bad
of the
to be like,
bio.
oh yeah, I'm a
Take
voice
aspiring out of the
actor,
bio.
but I've
You
never
can't
got
put in
paid.
pay. Well,
No.
was love. I would consider Love is a Monster professional though. That's the thing.
It was a one-time. Hey, we need you
Doesn't matter.
to do this. I
You
feel
did it.
like it doesn't
You
count.
were on a published project.
It doesn't count.
Why?
I feel like
Why does it not
true
count? What makes it not a
professionalism-
what makes it not a real project?
well,
like-
it is a real project, but I feel like true music professionalism means continual, like passive income.
Mm-mm. Nope. Wait,
That's
if you have
how
been paid,
That's
you
my.
have-
That's my
you
hurdle.
are officially a professional upon having a published paid project of any sort. You are a professional voice
know.
actor who
I
might
don't
not
know.
have any active projects at the moment,
I
but you can
cannot
say that
concede that one.
you have had a professional engagement.
No.
You have had a professional published piece. If you don't say
think
that,
so.
here's the thing, and
If that's the case, anyone who's ever made music for a video game is now a professional musician, and it just, to me, it doesn't feel like it reflects
Was it
genuinely
paid,
the
though?
level of effort
that
for
so
musicians. I agree on the professional voice acting, but music I think needs to make passive income. So like you have to be able to put something out on Spotify and get paid for it, which means you need a certain number of listeners who actually like your work, which means that it's not just getting viewed once. Anyone can view something once. Your mother
so the
can
difference
view a
is,
project once.
I suppose the difference isn't that it is published. The difference is were you paid?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
fine then.
I
fine.
feel like
I
the
will see that one.
passive income
But-
gain from a place that no one expected is what feels like you've really made it to D. I feel like anyone can work within a promoted project. That one is expected. They reach out to you and they pay you for it, but the project could flop.
But you're
However, if you make music and put it out on a streaming platform where it's all up to your own skill, and that gives you some modicum of income, even if it's $1, because you have to meet a certain threshold from all streaming platforms for that. I feel like if you meet that threshold, then bam, you can't deny it because you were there against all odds and nothing else was riding on it. It was all your skill. And I feel like my psyche needs that differentiation. You put your sleep sounds
think
in a
this
streaming
is a
platform, you will
both.
be a pro singer, do it.
I think if you independently put music out and that you generate passive income, yes, you're a professional. And yes, that is one threshold. But not every professional recording artist puts out music. That people who do background
What?
music or who do, support vocals.
That's a
there are
background
people,
music artist.
Yes,
That's
but
an
background music artists.
instrumentalist.
Yes, but those folks don't necessarily put those backing things on Spotify. That if they were paid to do the thing, that is a professional engagement.
I think
That you're
there's
right,
but
it can't just
there's
be
a technical difference between instrumentalist and musician. Musician's a broad term
they're-
for people who perform music. But I'm looking, so maybe musician's not the right word, singer. To be a professional singer,
Backup singers are still
I
singers.
still believe you need that passive, I did this, that's my work,
People
and I didn't have it I didn't have it paid up front. Anyone can pay you for something. That's just
anyone
that's
can
the way
pay you.
the
Very
world
few
works.
people will, though.
Very few people will. Yes.
Which is why,
But
if you
anyone
get
can
paid,
pay
that
you.
I think
And
that
they
you get.
didn't know a lot of musicians. I think they only went to D because one of the artists for that game is my friend and knows I do music. And I think that that's why they chose me. I think the project would have been much bigger had they chosen somebody else to do the music. Someone who is already established. And I would like to be established enough that these projects can pop off and that so my brain has the idea of professionalism also encompassing the idea that, like, you carry clout when you create this thing. Because if you call yourself a singer and nobody knows you for music, it feels false. It feels false to me, and I don't ever want to tread on the people who have busted their booties to be really good at this. They're always creating this thing, and that is their identity. That is what they strive for, and they do make passive income for it. A
Fine,
singer
so-
is someone that I would recommend.
so
to
we'll
some-
meet
like
halfway
Issa.
here.
Issa is a singer.
We'll meet halfway here that to add the word professional, that it needs to be something sustained, that it can't be a one-off necessarily
sustained.
for professional, but that you don't need professional to remove aspiring.
Yeah, so I agree with the aspiring voice actor bit. I like the idea that you can voice act, but you're not a professional until you're making passive income from a project you've produced. And same thing, you can say you sing, but you're not professional until you're making that passive. That's my box. I am not comfortable stepping down from it. The floor is still lava. I am
Fine,
not
but take
professional
away the
yet.
aspiring. Gotta take away the aspiring.
I think I have myself listed as vocalist, but not like professional musician. On
That's
my little, what's it called? Like my email tag, I have a fancy little email signature that I send out to folks when we're doing work together, when I'm communicating over the emails, and my sign says content creator, independent consultant, because I do have a big girl degree that I can do marketing work for, or other work. I do work in IT and I can build small apps if you want to give me money, because I don't do them all the time. And then vocalist is listed. Vocalist, not musician, not professional, just vocalist. That's what I have. Yeah. If only established singers get gigs. It doesn't have to do with gigs. Everyone can get a gig. You can. So, okay, here's the story.
Well, I feel like
Story
many
time.
gigs makes one a professional. One gig does not necessarily make one a professional. But
Anyone can get a gig, though. I'm gonna tell you why I know this. Big Sister Z, most of her young life, worked in food service as a waitress. She worked at several different pizza places and restaurants, and Dee worked at a few too. And the majority of places Z worked at, they did live music. She helped book the bands. How did they find local bands? Literally, people would come to the restaurant because they have a sign in the window that says live local nights. See so-and-so at the front desk if you want your group to play. People from the local area would come in, and all the owners would ask is, do you have a group? Can you guarantee that you'll be here to play? What kind of music do you play? And can you give me a sample? Which every one of them could. That's easy. And that's how you show up to perform live. You don't need a crew, you don't need clout, and all primary food sold that evening, they would get a percentage cut. So it would be up to the band to promote themselves. This is not one location. This is 14 places between the two of us that we've worked where this is the same case.
yeah, that is a
Anyone
very
can
standard
perform
model.
live.
That is a very standard model, and that the line I would draw is when you are being paid a flat rate for the
Yeah.
thing, that it not
Yes.
a bit on food, but if it is all right, I have a jazz club, and that
Yeah.
I'm booking a band, and that we're not paying the band the percentage of food sales, but we're saying, all right, we are going to give you $2,000 to come play at our venue this night. And
Yeah.
that I consider, if you get
Oh yeah.
that gig,
They don't like
that's
if
professional.
Nirvana wants to come and play, they don't hit up a play. Actually, this happened once, but it was 9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor Trent Reznor, I was about to say, doesn't just hit up a club and say, hey, I want to play. Is it okay if I play? Usually people reach out to a professional and say, will you come play? We'll pay you this money. Trent Reznor actually did this in his hometown.
What a flex.
He's told there's an underground music scene where they do live music, and it's where he got his start. And he actually showed up to play one night. He just
Secret
let
show.
he let the owners know like 2 weeks prior. He's like, hey, could I come in and play for old time's sake? They put him under a no name, just completely invisible individual. No one knew this, and they were just like, oh, it sounds like some cool person's gonna come play alternative music. And then he jumps up on stage and starts playing his dang music, and it's like, oh my god, that's Trent Reznor. Holy crap.
That's when you know you've made it, when you can do a secret show of be unannounced and that it is a big deal.
Absolutely. I feel like that's when you made it.
Yeah.
My friend Susie was there.
And there's also a difference, I think, of, the non-professional versus professional versus made it big.
Big.
Yeah, there's a difference between professional and made it big professional.
There's different layers of professional? I don't know. I labeled them all under that umbrella. But I also put it far so that I am always reaching, and so I don't stop striving, don't stop believing, don't stop working hard. My food is here! I can go get bagel.
Go get bagel.
Bagel time.
Go get bagel.
Bagel time. Did you have any other questions for Dee before I run away?
Well, I have just a couple last questions that I ask all my guests. And first is, what are your goals for the rest of the year? We only have a bit left of 2025. There's basically 2 months. So what do you want to accomplish before we hit 2026?
2025 is going to be finally getting this model rigged.
Yay!
And releasing. So it's October, November, December, January. Releasing 3 songs at a minimum. And I don't know. I'm about to enter into a journey into a total new phase of life. I'm looking forward to seeing what that does. Like IRL stuff. I hope to have some fun stories over the next few months, living with amazing new homies out in the Feywilds. Sync, I can't wait to see you guys. I'm looking forward to a new adventure. Content-wise, rig 3 songs or more, and launching the ARG for the cuties so that they can enjoy the chaos.
Wait a minute, ARG?
Yeah, they're gonna help me transform from a Dullahan. I've got a puzzle brewing. I'm going to start releasing it after my move.
Is that going to be released on your social media? Is
It'll
that
be
on
on
Discord? On the Discord. Be sure to join the Discord.
I'll let people know on social medias as well, but it'll primarily be for the community. And if you want to join us, it'll be in the Discord. Yeah.
And the last question I ask my guests is, what does being a VTuber mean to you? And that's not the definition of what is a VTuber. We're not talking, we were just discussing what does being a professional mean to you? What does being a voice actor mean to you? This is a personal question of, some guests have said, being a VTuber lets me get in touch with my inner child. It lets me be someone I can't be. Others have a more clinical approach and say, it's a tool in my toolbox as a content creator. It lets me do things creatively that I couldn't otherwise, but that it is a mask that I wear, not necessarily something emotionally resonant. And there's
boundless freedom! Because you have an anime character.
A good succinct answer.
VTuber is that?
Is that a good succinct answer?
Yeah, because that
Boundless
you can
freedom.
expand on it, of course. But being a VTuber is freedom. Not everyone is good with freedom. Some people need restrictions to succeed. Too much freedom is overwhelming. But if you have freedom and organization, and you have no limits it's just your own creativity. You can do and you can be anything, and that's magical.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ah. And that definitely makes sense, especially for you, for all the things that you've done and all the things that you are hoping to do in the future of boundless freedom. And
That's
given
why
your
I teach.
background, your interests, and yes, and your teaching. Gosh, we didn't even get to your teaching, but
It's okay. Maybe we do a take 2 when I'm finally rigged and not super wonk.
yes, hopefully by the time the 5th anniversary charity marathon rolls around in January, that you'll be able to have that before and after.
Oh, heck yeah. I am excited.
Yes. And I actually have one more question. And the actual last question is, who would you like us to raid?
Ooh, who's up right now? Let me refresh the internet. Let's see who's alive.
She looks for some raid targets. Thank you to everybody in chat for stopping by. I know that my notifications have been broken, so some folks that I know I missed. Let's see here. I got. Thank you to Gamble Champ, Nox, Raft, Kazi Dreamer, and Mega Science for the follows. Hope you enjoyed.
Ooh.
If you are not already following Dee for some absurd reason, please be sure to do that. Fix that. There is lots of awesome things to be had there, so let me get her a shout out right there. Sphinx.
I send
There we
you
go.
a link.
Yes. And that
She's
for-
on break, so give her a few moments and then she'll come back.
Mhm. And for me, you can follow me here on Twitch and Twitter and Blue Sky. It's just VTuber Talk each place. I cannot promise a regular schedule because I try to schedule around my guests, and my own personal schedule has been incredibly hectic, and
Oh
is
no,
probably
what's going on in your world?
just a lot of stuff. It's been good stuff, but it's just been
Yeah?
busy stuff that has made it so I can't necessarily stream as much as I want to. But don't worry, VTuber Talk's not going anywhere. So we're going to have good stuff there. And yes. So if you're interested, you can follow. But even not, thank you so much for stopping by, even if it was only for a little bit. If you got raided in, if you found your way here somehow, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Dee, for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you had a good time.
Thank you so much for having me. This was an absolute blast.
And we are going to be
It was
raiding
fun to
into...
just yap a while.
Yeah. No, and I know that left to our own devices, we could have gone much longer, but you have a bagel to
I
get
need
to.
to grab the
Plus,
food.
you already did another stream as well. So we're going to be raiding into Wild Spice. Be sure to let them know that Dee sent you all. Use lots of Dee's emotes because I don't actually have any.
What's our
the raid message?
What should we raid out with? Message to Nani. Mina to
Interview doesn't have any
Aisatsu to
D's in
Nani.
it.
Let's see. What do we got?
Talk show doesn't have any D's in it either. I'm trying to think of a good D pun to work with.
Okay.
What if we did?
Let's see. Like an interview, talk show, D pun.
How does
How
no,
about? What are you thinking?
No, I was just saying, it's like none of the words have D, so like we can't use any of those puns. We could just do something with the Doulahan thing, or
We could do interview dilemma.
or deep conversation raid.
Deep conversation. Ooh, deep conversation. I like that one. Conversation raid.
Yes, and throw a couple
VTuber.
emotes in there as well. Yeah.
VTuber
And I'll
talk.
put in a
Bring in the
generic-
D. There we go. Bam, bam, bam.
Perfect.
Oh no, I didn't add a space.
Whoa.
There. There we go. Space. Space. Did that work if I have a space?
Yeah, there
There
we
we
go.
go. It works with the
Perfect.
space. There we go.
Well, thank you again, Dee, and thank you to all of the QDs in chat and anybody else who stopped by. So this has been a wonderful, wonderful time. Go enjoy that bagel, and
I'm
thank
gonna.
you again,
I gotta go
everybody.
pick it up or
Yeah,
it'll melt outside.
yeah. Have a great rest of your night, everybody, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.